All right, guys, so the GM of this dealership, he just showed up. And let me show you how this GM is rolling here at Pikes Peak Harley-Davidson. His name's Gil, by the way. You hear it? Look at this guy, Gil. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Lamborghini, baby. What's going on, brother? How cool is that? The man. Oh. What's going on? This guy's been ducking me for 3 days being on YouTube. And when I finally catch him.
3 days. I almost got you on the 4th.
Yeah, he pulls up in this. I appreciate you, brother.
Hey, likewise, my man.
Oh. The fact that this guy got out of his bed to come open up this building for me, I appreciate it. All right.
You're doing great things. Appreciate it.
All right. That's a cool brother right there, and I'm not just talking about because of his car. You don't see one of those every day. You don't see one of those every day owned by a GM of a Harley-Davidson dealership. And not only don't you see it in a Lamborghini every day, but it's one that matches the Lord Tigers on the top of my hat. Anyway, he told me if I need anything, the building's open behind me. Once I'm done at the end of the day, we'll put everything back in and let him know when I'm done. He'll come back over. He's going to be at a birthday party right up the road, and we can lock everything up. Just let me tell you something, guys. Doing a traveling practice session, a lot goes into it, especially if it's something where I got to fly to it, whatever. So to have the people that are at the location that I'm doing it at kind of make it, kind of ease some of the, it's just amazing, guys. Just amazing. I appreciate it. Keep it loaded, keep it loaded, keep it loaded, keep it loaded. Very nice, looking at the camera. Very nice, good, good, good. Preloaders, V.I.Preloaders, welcome back to the channel, guys. Always a pleasure to have you guys here with me. And you know this by now, or at least you should. For those of you that have never been to this channel before, welcome to you as well. My name's Robert. I'm a retired NYPD Highway Patrol motorcycle lieutenant. And the name of this wonderful channel is Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle. Oh, God, it feels so good out here, guys. Right now it does. It's going to get a little hotter later. But I'm out here in Colorado Springs. Particularly, I'm at Pikes Peak Harley-Davidson. And I'm here for a practice session, right? This is the second day I'm here. So I want to welcome you to practice session number 114. And yesterday's practice session was just great. Great group of people here in Colorado. I'm not surprised. First and foremost, I have to acknowledge some people. V.I.Preloader Stephanie. None of this would have happened if it weren't for Stephanie. Stephanie came out to Pooler, Georgia for a 3-day private lesson with me. And after that was done, she said, I have to get you out to Colorado. So she contacted Pikes Peak Harley-Davidson. The GM in particular, his name is Gil, and here I am. So huge shout out to her. Secondly, huge shout out to Gil, the GM of this dealership. Above and beyond, guys, is an understatement. I mean, if you name it, whatever I needed, not only did he provide it, but gave me his number and said, if you could think of anything else you need, let me know. All right, so that's just outstanding. So I appreciate him. And so today's Sunday, and the dealership is actually closed, so nobody's here, and nobody was going to be here. What he did do is provide a porta potty for us, right? But it goes further than that. He provided, obviously, the use of the range, cones, a tent, a cooler, ice, water. And today, because they're closed, he's going to come here and open up this building, not the building behind me, but they have like a flex space over here where they store extra motorcycles and the riding academy stuff. He also gave me a motorcycle. The motorcycle, he put it in there so that today he can come open up that and give me the motorcycle again. And I forgot about that, yeah. Not only loaned me a motorcycle for the range, but said to me, if you want to just ride around Colorado, I'll put a dealer plate on it. Just, oh my gosh. I say it all the time, guys. I appreciate everything I have because nobody has to do anything, period, right? So not only is he gonna come open that building up that's where he put the tent and the cooler and everything I'm gonna need so that I can get to it today without having any staff here. But he's gonna leave that building open for us because there's a bathroom in there and it's air conditioned in there. So he turned the AC on last night because he doesn't usually leave it on in there. The point is, guys, this is just like, the reason why it means so much to me is because I know if I'm in his position, I would have done the same thing, right? He knows it's gonna be hot out here. And if he said, even if you just wanna go in there and cool off, but again, it's the trust, right? I've never met Gil before I got here, but the trust, anyway, huge shout out to him. And lastly, Chris is a rider coach here and the manager of the riding academy. And he actually moved some classes around to enable us to even be able to be on this range this weekend. So I appreciate them all. This was a great, great trip. It's not over yet because I got a practice session today. But I'll definitely be back here, guys, right? That's my plan at least, all right? Anyway, guys, if you're new to this channel and you don't know what practice sessions are, we do practice sessions here. I do private lessons. I'm based out of Pooler, Georgia, but I travel, obviously, to do my practice sessions. That's why I'm here in Colorado. But if you're interested in private lessons, go to my website, click on where it says private lessons, and it'll give you more information on that. Or if you're interested in knowing what events I have coming up, rides, practice sessions, whatever, same thing. Go to my website, click on where it says upcoming events, and that's where you'll get all the information. And if it's a practice session, you can register, and hold harmless agreement forms can be filled out, and all that kind of stuff. Coming down to the end of it this year, so after this Colorado trip, the next traveling practice session that I have scheduled, actually two of them, well, no, one of them, and that's in Florida, that's in September. And then in October, I'll be going to Uruguay, that's in South America. That's not really a traveling practice session. It's more like a traveling private lesson, right? And I'm going to be doing that with a company called Wheeled Icons. And I'm looking forward to that too. Huge shout out to Jose. That's what I'm going to be going out there with. He's the one that runs that, Wheeled Icons. He started that. And I'm looking forward to that, guys. At this point, guys, the sky's the limit, all right? Anyway, the practice session, 9 exercises, 10 if you include the bonus. That's what's out here. That's what's planned. But as always, people only have to do what they're comfortable doing. This is not a competition out here. Nothing is set up as a competition. We don't have to worry about our egos being bruised because we leave them on the curb, right? So we can come out here and just learn, have fun. It's all positive. It's a positive learning environment. It's a positive channel, period. And if you're not subscribed to this positive channel, you're not familiar with it, you definitely want to get involved in this, especially if you ride a motorcycle, period. Because there's people that don't own motorcycles that are still subscribed to this channel and they watch it regularly. And it's just because of the vibes here. Guys, I'm not making this up. You'll see the more and more you watch these videos and you get involved, meaning you actually meet preloaders and V.I.Preloaders in person, it's just an amazing thing, guys. It really is. It's a great group of people. My Facebook group, it's a private group. It's called Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle on Facebook, yeah. If you want to be a member of that too, you can check that out. It's just all good vibes, all good vibes. Anyway, guys, when the preloaders and V.I.Preloaders get here, I'm going to talk to them. We're going to find out their name, where they're from, because believe it or not, yesterday's session, most of the people weren't from Colorado Springs. People were traveling hundreds of miles. One guy, Otis traveled here from New Mexico, like over 500 miles. Another couple traveled 900 miles. So I have to acknowledge my wife because she wanted me to do these traveling practice sessions, which initially I was not interested in. And when she said to me, trust me, if you do them, you might get closer to people that won't come all the way to Pula, but they'll travel to wherever you are. And she was so right, as she often is. All right. So anyway, yeah, talk to them, find out where they're from, what they ride, how long they've been riding, how long they've been practicing, which is what I care about the most. And that was on full display in yesterday's practice session. And what they rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best in slow speed maneuvers. Again, that number's for them. And then at the end of the day, I asked them if there's any change in their number. And again, it doesn't matter if it goes up, down, stays the same. That's all up to them. It's not they're not doing it to appease me, and I need them to know that. All right, I need you guys to know that. It's not for me. All right, I disagree when you're sandbagging when the number's too low. Respectfully disagree. All right, guys, let's do it. All right, so guys, this is Debbie and Curtis. They were in yesterday's practice session, and they came today, and first thing they said is, can we warm up a little bit? Look at that dedication. So I said, absolutely, go ahead. Plus, they have stock exhaust, so it's not going to disturb my video. It's not ridiculously loud. All right, what's your name?
Joel.
Joel, where you from?
Floresville, Texas, near San Antonio.
How far is it from here?
900 miles.
Wow, you rode here?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hot.
Awesome. That is so awesome, man. And the only thing I can think of that's more awesome than that is that shirt you're wearing, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the support.
Thanks.
How long you been riding the motorcycle?
For 19 years, that's been my only vehicle. I don't even have a car.
Really? Okay, good. What are you riding today?
A 2013 Honda Go Wing F6B.
Nice. Not a DCT.
No, I wouldn't. No DCTs for me.
Okay, good. How long you been practicing slow speed riding?
About 3 years since I saw you on YouTube.
Awesome. If you had to give yourself a rating 1 to 10, 10 being the best slow speed, what would you give yourself?
Normally I'd be higher, but I'm going to give myself a 4 because cones. I've never practiced.
Never practiced in cones.
And
okay.
they kind of scare me.
Okay.
I can't even. I'm looking there and I can't. They look. I can tell what they are on when I'm watching them on videos.
Yeah.
But when I look at them now, it doesn't make sense.
It all makes sense. You're right. It doesn't make sense if you just look at this, but it all makes sense. Pleasure to meet you, brother.
All right,
Looking forward to
here,
working with you.
here.
What's your name?
Doug,
Where you from, Doug?
Bear River, Wyoming.
How far is that from here?
About 530 miles.
Woo! Nice. How long have you been riding the motorcycle?
Got back into it about 4 years ago.
What are you riding today?
2014 Limited Ultra.
Nice. How long have you been practicing slow speed riding?
Since I found your videos about 3 years ago.
Just like Joel. Exact time, 3 years. If you had to give yourself a rating 1 to 10, 10 being the best in slow speed, what would you give yourself?
Better than average, 5.5.
Pleasure to meet you, brother. All right, I just want to first let you guys know. What's your name?
Debbie,
Curtis.
Curtis. Where you guys from?
Utah, Ogden area.
How far is that from here?
650 miles.
So you had Doug thought he was going to be the one that beat everybody at 500 something miles, and then you got Joel 900 miles. So
Wow.
yeah, he came from Texas. 2 days he rode that motorcycle,
Oh.
and he doesn't own a car. That's his mode of transportation.
Wow.
But this is his first time ever in cones, and so he's intimidated. We're going to talk about it though. How long you guys been riding the motorcycle?
I've been riding for 6 years.
And you?
15.
15. And what are you riding today?
I'm riding a 21 Road Glide Special.
And you?
21 Street Guide, especially.
How long you been practicing slow speed riding?
A couple years.
Good. And you?
Same.
Same.
Yep.
You guys make a great team. Oh, you're talking to each other too in the helmets too.
We're encouraging
I love it.
each other.
I love it.
Like, you got it.
That's awesome. I love you guys. All right. If you had to give yourself a rating 1 to 10, 10 being the best in slow speed, what would you give yourself?
I'm going down today because yesterday I sucked really bad, so I'm going to say 4.
And how about you?
I'm 6.5.
All right, guys, listen. He's a sandbagger, and so is she. Watch practice session number 113, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. She's saying she sucked. Anyway, I want to let you guys know you're pioneers. You are the first people to ever be warming up before I start. And the fact that you said, can I warm up? And I said, oh, yeah, sure. And then Joel saw you and said, hey, can I get in there too? So see what you started? But I appreciate the fact that, hey, he's got a gold wing and you got stock exhaust. Is that stock exhaust?
No.
They're Reinhardt 4.5.
Oh, they're not that loud either, so
No.
didn't disturb my video. Good to see you guys again.
Thank you. Good to see you.
All right, dear.
So what do you hand?
All right. Okay. What's your name?
My name is Jim Forrest.
Where you from, Jim?
I'm from Colorado Springs, actually.
Finally, we got somebody that's close.
Yes.
Everybody's
yes.
hundreds of miles.
I tried to get the Hog Chapter guys to come. I tried to get others, but
That is
people to
always
come.
an issue, trying to get people. We're going to talk about that. And here's the funny part. This is always the case. When I was working, people that lived an hour from work were always on time or early. The closest people that lived across the street, right on time or late. That's Jim. So it makes sense. Right on time. All right. How long have you been riding the motorcycle?
a long time. I mean, I've been riding dirt bikes since I was 12,
Okay.
but I've been riding a street bike since I was 16.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So a long time, but still need to work.
Okay. What are you riding today?
I'm riding the 17 Ultra Classic.
Okay. How long have you been practicing slow speed riding?
Last several years, I'd say the last 3-4 years.
Okay.
I've taken a couple classes, the Ride Like a Pro
Mhm.
classes, and I've done that.
Okay.
So, but still need more practice.
Okay. If you had to give yourself a rating 1 to 10, 10 being the best slow speed, what would you give yourself?
I would give myself maybe a 7
Okay, 7's excellent.
or 6 maybe. Yeah, you'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
You can judge later.
I don't judge, but I let you judge because at the end we'll go through this again.
Maybe 5. No. I'm
Okay. All right, brother.
All right.
That's funny. 7, maybe 6, or maybe 5. All right, guys. So listen, we're gonna get started, but this is unprecedented. So these guys are pioneers. So we got Curtis. Curtis was in yesterday's practice session, like I said. We got Debbie, and we got Joel out there. They're actually warming up before we even start. And so Joel saw Debbie and Curtis doing it. He said, "Can I go out there and warm up?" Yeah, why not? And they have stock Harley-Davidson exhaust, so it's not going to disturb my video, right? If they had tap performance, I would tell them, "Nah, you can't do it, man, because I'm doing stuff with the camera," right? This is just awesome. All right, anyway, somebody else just pulled up. I'm going to get him interviewed, and then we're going to get started. All right, guys, let's do it. Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome to practice session number. Don't answer.
107.
146. Holy shit.
No, wasn't that on your? You had something on your post like it was class 1 something.
Yeah, it was.
Ohio was 106.
Ohio was 106. What's today?
114.
114. Today's 114. Again, this morning I'm going through it. I had to.
4 in there.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You had a 4 and a 1. So, and it's funny you should say that. So you gave me 2 out of 3. And usually, when I'm doing private lessons, practice sessions too, but really private lessons. If I ask somebody to give me 2 things, they're going to give me 1. If I ask them to give me 3, they're going to give me 2. Because what we do is we do one thing and then we build on that with something else. And so now, because we got 1, we got that now. Now I'm going to introduce 2. If they get 2, they forget about 1, right? And that's what this is all about. This is about taking all of these pieces and just putting them together. Because if I ask you, what are the main components of riding a motorcycle at slow speeds? Throttle, clutch, rear brake, and then head nods. But I'm talking about the physical aspect of touching the bike. Throttle, clutch, and rear brake. It sounds simple enough, but you have to know how to put these things together, know when to use them, and there's no really absolute answers for a lot of these questions. So when people ask me questions, the answers, especially if it's an email, I feel bad for them because usually everybody's looking for an answer. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And that's bullshit too, because you tell people what to do, they still don't do it right away. That's why we practice. So you know what? Let's do this before I get into everything else. Well, first of all, do any of you guys have an issue being on YouTube? I figured as much. All right. Why do you practice? Or if you don't really practice, what do you think practice are the benefits of it for you?
For sure, just being safer on the road, being safer in situations.
Good. Joel? I should be able to remember everybody's names. I did pretty good yesterday.
If you don't practice, you won't get it. You got to practice first of all, and second of all, it makes riding 1,000 times more fun.
Absolutely. Doug?
Yes, absolutely. The safety part of it, I'm responsible for somebody on the back.
2 up. Okay. Did you watch my 2 up video
I sure did.
with her?
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Somebody finally followed those instructions, because that's what I say. Watch it with the person that rides with you. Okay.
But like Joel says, this aspect of riding completes the rest of the ride.
Yes.
Where
Absolutely.
You're out having a great time on the twisties or in the mountains or on the highway. You still have to make a U-turn.
That's right.
This completes it.
That's right. Absolutely. Kurt?
About being in control and being the boss. And not being scared of, I need to park over there.
Yep.
Between, I
Yep.
can do it.
Yep. Debbie?
I think it's fun. Like we set up cones at the parking lot, and we go and we practice a lot, and we get to see our improvement and encourage each other, and it's fun. And then you get out on the road and you're like, wow, it's way easier now.
Exactly. Love that. So I love all of those answers. Of course, I love Curtis's the most because he said being the boss. But being the boss is the umbrella. All of that stuff is under that umbrella, right? Everything is under that. Practicing, as you said, is going to give you options out there in the real world. And your options are limited to your skill level. It's going to definitely make you enjoy the bike more, because I say it all the time. It's the only vehicle that your heart rate goes up the slower you go. And that nobody is going to really enjoy something that there's an aspect of it that they're terrified of. And she said it's fun. And I find that when people start practicing, sometimes they prefer to do this more than that, just because this is more challenging, right? So, all right, that's beautiful. I mean, that's music to my ears.
Because I'm local and this is my dealership. I'm like, why couldn't they get people to sign up?
Because just like you couldn't get your friends in the Hog chapter to sign up. Let me tell you something. If you say to your friends, listen, we're going to go for a ride. We're going to go to a bar or something stupid. Let me not say something stupid.
They're in.
Going for a ride, they're in. But if you say, hey, we're going to go practice, I'm good. Those are the two words that I've been hearing since I was working. Listen, I've worked with highway cops. You're a motorcycle officer. I'm good, Lou. Then when I get out to Times Square, and now it's a detail. Every time I got a detail, I would always take my guys in the parking lot and just follow the leader, have them follow me. And I'm paying attention, especially to the guys that said, I'm good, Lou. So when I have you guys pull up here, I have you go straight. I prefer you make a turn. Now when Doug pulled in, nobody else was here. So he pulled in, he made a swooping turn, right? I prefer you do it 90 degrees, right? And that's how Curtis pulled in. That's how Debbie starts to pull in, then she chickens out. But that's how we pull in as motorcycle officers anywhere we stop. And when you pull up in Times Square, here's the scenario. The horses are the main attraction until the motorcycles show up. So all the tourists are around the horses, and then you hear that rumble. We ride 2 on 2. I put one finger up, we go into one, and when we're gonna park, we hug the curb, 90-degree turn, that's me. Smooth stop, left foot down. Then everybody else does the same thing. And then when everybody's in, I nod my head and we all back up at the same time. I get off my bike, I get out, I tell everybody to shut their engines off. Then I tell them to dismount, they put the bike on the kickstand. It looks like a show, right? But it's good. But all it takes is one cop to screw up that 90-degree turn. And then he screws up the rest of the line because he's trying to introduce speed so he can lean into the turn. But once you lean into the turn, it's more difficult to stop smoothly because in order to lean, what do you need? Speed. And so now his stop, if he is able to stop in line, it's like that. It just looks like crap, right? And highway patrol, for the most part, any of them, is all about the look. You know, in my opinion, is safety second, looks first. And here's why do I say that? We don't wear full face helmets. You ever hear people say you don't carry keys in your pocket just in case you go down, you can stab yourself? Yeah, that's well known. Well, try a gun belt, right? So, it is, and it's not like we wear soft stuff. Everything is leather. Anyway, I don't want to get off on a tangent, but the point is, things that we're going to talk about today, operating these motorcycles at slow speeds. It's not just about looking good, because it does look good, and the reason it looks so good is because so little people know how to do it, right? And trying to get people to come out and practice. So I'm gonna say this to you before we get into everything. The goals today. Your goal is not to get everything today, if anything at all. But what you need to get is an understanding of what you need to work on your own. Because make no mistake about it, I don't want you coming back here next year, Rob. Okay, see you next year. But I'm not going to do anything in between. That's a big mistake. You have to practice this stuff, right? And so we practice for the things that you guys talked about. One of them is muscle memory, right? It has to be automatic. So when we go to the range to shoot, I don't care how many years you've been on the job, it's the same thing every time, same order. They're going to give you a simulated gun jam. You're not going to know when it's going to happen. And when it happens, you have to know without thinking, tap, rack, bang. You got to know what to do. That's how it is on your motorcycle. If you're out there riding and something comes up, you don't have time to be thinking, what do I do here? And so that's why if you don't have the muscle memory, the only thing you have to resort to are your instincts, which are always wrong on a motorcycle. Squeeze, hope for the best, right? Okay, so I love all your answers. I'm glad that you're here, and we're going to get into it. Anybody nervous?
Oh, yeah.
Still?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I ask that question all the time for a reason. We're not dealing with any egos here today. So take it, put it someplace. You can pick it up when you leave here. This is a positive learning environment. I like to say this is a safe place. It's a safe place for two reasons. One, it's a controlled environment. So we don't have to worry about cars or anything like that. Two, nobody's going to judge you here for anything. There's no such thing as a stupid question. So if you have a question, ask it. Okay? We're just here to learn and get better, and this is an each one teach one environment. So if you have input, I want you to share it. It's not always about right or wrong, because we all learn differently. Sometimes there's a better way of doing something for somebody else. Simple as that. Okay? Everybody familiar with my channel? Yes. Everybody familiar with the lingo? Preload and keep it loaded. Everybody knows what that means. I know you guys know. Everybody knows what the friction zone is. All right, good. We're going to be living in the friction zone today. Okay? And we're going to talk more about the friction zone. I'm going to talk to you about 5 stages of the friction zone. Just so you guys know, I basically came up with this about a month ago. 5 stages of the friction zone. We're going to talk about it. You know what? Let's talk about it now. The friction zone, for those of you that don't know, is the space between no power and power, with your clutch. We're talking about the clutch. The rear brake. Your power to the rear wheel and the rear brake on your motorcycle work together in harmony, unless you make them fight. So people often say ignorance. People are always displaying their ignorance for the world to see. I'm not doing that crap. It's going to burn out my clutch. Or you're burning out your clutch. Or there goes that clutch. So making a comment like that, if I think like that, I may as well not ride the bike, because the tires are going to wear out too it's a wear item, just like your clutch, right? So, but we don't want to abuse the rear brake. So today we're going to be slow dancing with the motorcycle. Everything we do on the bike has to be graceful and smooth. Fluidity, that's what we're looking for, right? But when you're trying to figure this out, I understand that it's not going to be there, because everything that we're doing are really small movements. But when you're nervous, it's big movements and jerky movements. So the bike's going like this. That's fine, right? Trust me, that will work out with time, okay? So if we talk about the 5 stages of the friction zone, I like stages 1 through 3. The stages are talking about how much you're in the friction zone. So as soon as you open your hand, that's stage 1. Stage 1 might be appropriate, it might not be. It all depends on what you are feeling. We're going to be in our feelings today. And we're going to be basing what we do on what we feel. So 1, 2, and 3, you can still be dragging the rear brake lightly and everything's fine. The bike's not fighting. When you go to 4 and 5, you're opening your hand up more, then your bike's fighting. So I had a guy here yesterday. He was riding, his name is Greg. He was riding an Indian Pursuit. He was in the friction zone at a level 4 while we were doing exercise number 4. Shit, maybe that's why he was doing that. I'm kidding. And how do I know that? He's on his rear brake. Now, it's okay to drag the rear brake while you're in the friction zone, as long as you're in a low. Every time he came off the rear brake, his bike was doing this. So if that's happening, I know you're in the friction zone too much, and you're making the bike fight. Brake, brake, brake. It's fighting. And that's when you run into clutch problems, okay? So, stage 1, 2, you might be good at that. You might be good there. You might not have to go anywhere else. We're going to talk about that, and we'll see what needs to be done. Again, for anybody, there's no actual stages on your clutch, but this is just a concept I came up with to try to make this easier to wrap our heads around, right? Because all of this stuff is like, it's the opposite of everything our brain, our hardwiring tells us to do on the motorcycle, including putting our feet down. By the way, Debbie, if I tap the ground or put my feet down while the bike's moving, what's the penalty for that?
10 push-ups.
Yes, 10 push-ups. You know how she knows? She owes me 97. I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. She owes me some push-ups, because again, guys, we're not duck walking today. We're not duck walking. That's the goal. Again, I want you guys to step outside of your comfort zones a little bit. And that's what we need to do here. We're in a training environment. So when you train at an elevated level. So you might go, well, when am I going to ever need to do what you're talking about doing, Rob? You might need to do it 3 times in a year, but it's a tool in your tool belt. If you need it, it's there. But if you don't have it, you don't have it at all. So it's not even an option, okay? All right, so when I say we're not duck walking, 1 foot or 2. Like some people, I would have my hand and say, okay, stop here. And they would stop there. And I would go. So now they thought it was okay to duck walk up to it. No. So, all right, before I get to the 5 steps, we're not duck walking. Every time your foot taps the ground, that's 10. So if you come to a stop and go, that's 20. If you go to take off and take 3 steps, that's 30, right? And I don't want to see this when your bike's moving. As soon as your bike starts to move, pick your foot straight up. And again, the more comfortable you get, your foot will come up like this. Not like this, right? Again, when you're nervous, everything is like that, and that's fine. Including that. And that's what happens. The 2 reasons we drop our motorcycles at slow speeds. We get nervous, we pull a clutch in, or we don't keep the throttle loaded, the bike stalls. And front brake. You guys squeeze the front brake today in a slow speed maneuver, 10 push-up penalty, okay? The push-ups are voluntary, I have to let you know that, right? It's just about being accountable. And even if they weren't, I don't expect you to be doing them out here. Like any V.I.Preloaders here besides these 2? Okay, good, I appreciate you. Usually they send me a video of them doing the push-ups, and then I put it at the beginning of the next video, right? It's just a good thing to see, man. All right, anyway. Any questions about any of that? 5 steps I want you guys to follow before you move your motorcycles today. What's always step number 1? Always. See, now I'm testing if you watch, how you watch. How about you, Joel?
First gear.
Make sure the motorcycle's in first gear. Keep in mind, it's a square. So we start over here. Boop. Make sure the motorcycle's in first gear. Step number 2.
Cover the rear brake.
Cover the rear brake. Do we all know what cover the rear brake is?
Don't
Yes.
press it.
That's right.
Just touch it.
Just rest your foot on it. Relax. Rest your foot on it. And that's the purpose. We have to be relaxed. A lot of people got the death grip on the handlebars, and that's why sometimes when they're trying to move the bike, especially when we do exercise number 3, trust and believe, foot up, they pick their foot up and the bike is like, because they open the clutch, but the foot is like this on the brake. Your brake's always going to win the battle against you, against the power. I don't care what stage it is. It's always going to win the battle. So we cover the rear brake. Why do we cover it?
So you don't have to look for it. You're already there, and so it'll be smooth.
Exactly. Exactly. It's all about the smoothness. If I need it, if my foot's already there, I'm less inclined to smash at it. Some people still will, but again, that will dissipate. Plus, it gives you a feel for it. You know what I mean? It gives you a feel for it. Step number 3. You said you watch all the time. Put her on the spot. You don't listen. Okay.
Preload and keep it loaded.
Preload and keep it loaded. Listen, guys, this was a big culprit yesterday, and it usually is. Preload. Why do we preload? Because if we just open the clutch with no throttle, what's going to happen, Doug?
We're going to lug the motor and stall out.
That's right. The bike's going to stall. Well, most likely it's going to stall. So we need to raise the RPMs above idle, and not just above it. I want you to go well above it. Again, I don't want it screaming, but I want it well above it, because as soon as you open your clutch, your bike is going to ask for power. It's going to lower that RPM. Whatever you have it at, it's still going to go down. So that's why we don't want to be right at it. 2,000, whatever the hell it is. Listen to it. That's what we're going by. We're going by what it sounds like, okay? And keep it loaded. We keep it loaded because these are all Harley Davidsons, correct? Except the Goldwing. How's that Goldwing idle? Is it a smooth idle?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's smooth. Well, ours isn't. Our bike's idle like this. And if you look at the RPM, if it's digital, you'll see the number going up, down, up, down. So we have to create what your bike already has. Well, yours is not high, it's just smooth. Okay, so we want it smooth, because when we start doing slow speed maneuvers, that blip, 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 I don't want to feel the bike doing this while I'm making the U-turn. So I keep the throttle high and smooth, not high, raised and smooth. And so the way I do that is by being in the friction zone, right? And we're going to talk about that too, but not just being in the friction zone, applying light pressure to the rear brake. If I do that, that makes all of this easier. We can do everything out here brakeless, but your rear brake gives you correction and control of your motorcycle. So I would never take that away from you. Correction and control, but light pressure. So I'm going to show you guys something. Before I show you that, step number 4, slowly release the clutch into the friction zone. That's step number 4. And then step number 5, like I said, as soon as the bike starts to move, pick your left foot up. Nice and easy, okay? As soon as it starts to move. Because once the bike's moving, we don't need our feet. On the ground, that is. So people often say, well, I don't understand. Make sure the motorcycle's in first gear. Why is that so important? The more you know, the more important things are. The less you know, the more you worry, right? And that's just true with everything. People worry about a lot of stuff when they don't know a lot of things. And that includes the motorcycle. And so make sure the motorcycle's in first gear. It's not a big deal if every time you start your bike, you duck walk it, and then you pick up your feet. And making a turn like this, that's not even an option for you to do. If you get in a situation where you're like this and you need to make a turn, most people in their brain, they're going to back the bike up or duck walk the bike to make this turn. But this is what I mean when I say the options that we have out there in the real world, they're not all based on emergency stuff. Sometimes it's just simple stuff that for you or whoever doesn't practice is not even an option. How many of you guys love making U-turns? Oh yeah, oh yeah. I got a good crew here today. A good crew, because a lot of the times, see, let me tell you something. So Jim, this is this.
Confidence here, I'm like, dang, maybe now I'm a 4.
See, this is the second. When I asked Jim, how do you rate yourself? He was like, 7, maybe 6, about 5. It's not, it keeps changing.
4 or 3.
All right. So there's no wrong answer here, man. There's no wrong answer. So because I know I ride the way I ride, if I'm going to make this turn, I need to be in first gear. Because if I'm in 4th gear, 3rd gear, and I decide to open the clutch and let the bike kind of lean, I'm screwed. Because it's happened to me almost. You know, I was in 2nd gear. So that's why we cover the first. I mean, that's why we make sure we're in first gear. So one of the scariest things for motorcycle riders is that initial takeoff. And I'm not talking about a takeoff where they can just open up the throttle and go. Because yeah, speed is always our friend because it relieves us of any responsibility to keep this bike upright. So if I need to make a turn and I'm this close to something, yeah, of course, if I try to do this and just open my clutch, that is scary because I have less control. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out. Yes, I tell you to cover the rear brake, but if I'm making a turn like this, I'm going to start out already applying pressure to the rear brake. But what I'm also going to do is those stages of the friction zone, if I'm going straight, I might only need to be in stage 1. But I'm going to go to stage 2 or 2.5 right away. I need to give myself, I want to make sure I have enough so that I don't stall. And if I give myself a little bit too much, that's why I'm on the rear brake. So that might be one of those instances where the bike does one of these, but it's okay. Keeping that power on the rear wheel. First gear, cover the rear brake, turn the handlebars, preload the throttle, clutch, rear brake, rear brake. All right, now I can pull the clutch in a little bit. I don't need all of that. So right now, I'm dragging the rear brake. My clutch is in the same spot. I'm not moving my clutch. Not moving the clutch. Rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. Keep it loaded, Rob. Keep it loaded. Clutch is still in the same spot. I'm in the friction zone. Even if I lean, my clutch is still in the same spot. It's just brake, brake. Friction zone, friction zone. Now I'm showing you one example of how to do stuff. I'm not going to make every turn like that, right? Because I don't need to make every turn like that. But something like that, yeah, I want to make sure that I keep that bike in full control. I'm going to make sure I'm on that rear brake right from the start. Like I said, can I do stuff brakeless? Yeah. It's very rare that I'm going to do that because, again, it doesn't make sense to take away control, right? Because that's what that gives us, correction and control. Questions? All right. How relevant is your balance to keep, I'm not asking you to. How relevant is your balance to keep your motorcycle upright at very slow speeds? 100's a lot, 50's in the middle, 0's none.
How relevant?
Yeah, how relevant is your balance? Give me that, Debbie.
I mean, I would say, I'd say 50, 60, 70.
60, 70. 0.
Nail.
Nil?
Really? Yep,
0?
zero.
0.
Bike is doing a lot of the work, so you're, yeah. But,
Bike is doing all the work. That's why it's 0. What keeps your motorcycle upright at slow speeds?
with your control over the bike, again, the brake, the things you just talked about, brake, clutch,
What keeps it up at slow speeds?
Sufficient power to the rear wheel.
Yes, sufficient power to the rear wheel. And the word sufficient, that word's important because if the power is not sufficient, even if you're in the friction zone, the bike will still fall. All right. What does your motorcycle want to do with sufficient power to the rear wheel? What is it designed to do with power? That's right. Stand up and go straight. So if it wants to stand up and go straight, what do your handlebars want to do? Straighten out, right? So this is why people have difficulty turning because they don't think they do because, again, slow speed riding is different depending on who you're talking to. A lot of people come out here and they're going 10 miles, 15 miles per hour and they think that's slow. And it might be in some situations, not out here. For instance, when we get to exercise number 4, 2 miles per hour is the fastest you should be going because we're making 90-degree turns. And if you go any faster than that, the faster you go, the more difficult it is to turn like this. But we know most motorcycle riders don't turn like this anyway. They turn like this. Straight and slight turns. because that's associated with speed. So again, when I say step outside your comfort zone today, this is one of them. Slow down. Everything we do is slow. And when I say slow, so slow that I should see your handlebars kind of doing this. Depending on what we're doing, right? That's what I should see. Because I want you to feel levels of discomfort and understand over time you're going to realize what you're feeling as discomfort is going to dissipate. It's not going to feel discomfort anymore because you're understanding that if I need this bike to stand up, like he said, provide sufficient power to the rear wheel. So most people are concerned about the bike falling. If you feel your bike falling, what's the answer?
Usually give a little bit more gas or a little bit more clutch.
Or and. It's and, because remember, we're never going to give clutch without preload. 3 comes before 4. Because if we just give clutch, we talked about what's going to happen already, stall. So we have to always preload the throttle before we open the clutch. And so whatever we feel that feeling of falling, we want to address it as soon as we feel it. And that's where the sufficient power thing comes from. Because if my bike is starting to fall and I feel it, and I open my hand this much and it corrects it, that power was sufficient for that scenario. If I wait until the bike is this far over and open my hand that same amount, that's no longer sufficient, okay? So to make sure that we're good, what I want you guys to get in the habit of doing is, when you don't need your power, it's commonplace for people to just pull a clutch all the way to the grip. Sometimes that's okay, you're coming to a stop, no problem. But if you know you're still in the middle of slow speed maneuvers, if you pull a clutch in, pull it right before the friction zone. So if you want to find out where that is, pull your clutch all the way in and start opening it. And when you feel the bike start to move a little bit, pull it just right before that. And now that's where you live during your maneuvers. So if you need the power, boop, it's right there. You don't have, that's the thing, we don't want to be doing a lot. What you got?
So would you call, in the 5 steps of the friction zone, would you call 0 all the way in?
0 is all the way in.
And 1 would be, I feel the friction.
That's right. 1, if you're in it, you feel it. If you barely feel it, let's call that a 0.5. Right? Okay. Yeah, but because we're talking about significant parts of the friction zone where the motorcycle can actually stand up. Not if the bike is just like this, because if it's very little, it's still going to fall. It's not sufficient, right? So the levels of sufficient power of the friction zone, that's what I guess I'll call that. I like this, man. I got to keep changing it so it can make sense. Levels of yes, absolutely. So we talked about what keeps the bike up at slow speeds. Sufficient power to the rear wheel. We talked about with sufficient power what the bike wants to do, stand up and go straight. What does the bike want to do with insufficient power to the rear wheel at slow speeds? Anyone?
You said insufficient, fall down.
It wants to fall. So let's wrap our heads around that. What's keeping it up is sufficient power to the rear wheel. How do we get that sufficient power to the rear wheel? With the clutch, of course, with preload too. What does it want to do without sufficient power? It wants to fall. And with power, it wants to stand up and go straight. If we think about all of those things intellectually, all of this should be easy. But like I said, it's against our hard wiring, so we got to practice it. Okay? All right. Let's talk about stopping. Because this is way, way important. Stopping a motorcycle is not just stopping a motorcycle. Right? Everything involves technique. I want your foot coming down when you stop. Like that. Oh, I forgot to make the sound. Bing! Or in stride. That's how I want you stopping your bike all day today and after you leave here. Anything else, unacceptable. Well, that's how I want you to feel, right? And I'm gonna be on you all day about it. Like, I don't care what we're doing. You can make a 14-foot U-turn, which is impossible. You could drag your knee on the ground. At the end of it, if it's like this, I'm like, I'll give you credit on the U-turn, but the stop, I want it smooth. Because I want us to be, here we go. What are the 3 C's of Preloader Nation?
Control, consistency, and
Confidence.
There we go. Confidence, control, and consistency. Those are the 3 C's of Preloader Nation. Confidence is always first because everything follows that. So I'm guaranteeing all of you guys are going to leave here feeling a little bit more confident than you got here. How much, that depends on you because we're all different, right? Control is second because I want you to be in control at all times while you're out here, at all times. And consistency is we have to do stuff consistently. That's how it's going to work out, okay?
Number 4?
What's number 4?
Coolness.
4 of what?
Coolness.
Coolness. I've heard another 4 too. I forgot what it was. I didn't add it in though. I'm going to leave it at confidence, control, and consistency. Coolness. There was another one. I can't remember what it was. But it was cool. But it wasn't coolness.
It was cool.
Okay, so that's how I want you guys stopping. So when you guys are stopping today, I understand that you're probably accustomed to stopping the motorcycle coming out of speed. And most motorcycle riders will do that because the longer I can keep that bike under speed, the less responsibility I have. And I don't even like to call it responsibility because motorcycle riders don't look at it as that. We look at it as responsibility because we know what needs to be done to make that stop smooth. But if you don't know, it's not irresponsibility, it's fear, it's discomfort. I don't want the bike to feel like it's falling. So what they do is, as soon as the bike feels like it's getting ready to fall, that equals time to stop. Front brake, feet out, abrupt stop. So when you guys stop today, not only am I looking for your foot to come down nice and easy, I'm looking for your suspension to have little to no compression. And I'm looking for your bike to be straight up. If your bike is even leaning a little bit like this, it was starting to fall, which means you didn't have sufficient power at the end of that stop, right? Okay.
Handlebars.
And make sure those bars are straight. That's right. We don't stop with the handlebars turn. Square the bars. So if I'm coming to the end of that stop, Jim, and I'm going at a speed where now I start feeling the bike starting to do this. Now most people will go, it's time to stop, but we know that's not the answer. What is the answer? To bring that bike to a smooth stop.
I would say a little more preload and clutch.
That's right. We got to go back into the friction zone. And we got to go into at least a stage 1. We're going to start at 1. Because like I said, if you address these feelings as soon as you feel them, as soon as I start feeling it, I'm going to open my clutch. That should address it. But if I'm still slowing down, the slower I go, the more the bike wants to fall. I might have to go into up to 2. But what am I doing at the same time? Rear brake, 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 brake. So the braking process is progressive. And I find that when people are braking, if they need to brake or stop, they're going to stop right at the point to stop. So it's like this. But no, it's brake, 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 friction zone. Friction brake is what you're going to hear me saying. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. That means you're in the friction zone, but you're braking at the same time. And you're going to stay in the friction zone until your foot touches the ground. Then pull the clutch in. Because if you pull it in even a second before that, the bike's going to start falling. Questions on that? I'm going to give you a quick demo on that. As I ride towards you, I'm going to have the clutch all the way in. And then when I start to feel that, you're going to hear the RPMs go up a little bit because I'm going to go into the friction zone. And this is just a matter of working it out based on what you're feeling. And when you're ready to stop, boom. It's a coordination thing too. First gear, covering the rear brake, preload, clutch, foot up. All right, the clutch is in. Already I'm feeling the bike, friction zone, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. Clutch in. Nice and smooth. The only way you're going to get this bike to stay smooth like that, you have to provide the one thing that is needed to keep it up at those slow speeds, and that's sufficient power to the rear wheel. Now, there's a million ways to do everything, guys, right? There are going to be times when the balance of the motorcycle works out, and you're not going to need that, even at a very slow speed. Just like when we're doing trust and believe, you can pick your foot up and the bike sit there for like 2 or 3 seconds. In that moment, the balance of the motorcycle is working out, but eventually it's going to start falling. So yes, there's going to be times when you can come to a smooth stop and you won't need that. But the beauty is, if you need it, it's in your pocket. It's in your tool belt. Here's the other thing. Everything is nice and smooth out here. And this is how motorcycle riders love it. They love everything to be smooth, free, and clear. Because then I don't have to do anything. I don't have to feel anything uncomfortable. When we're going very slowly, remember we're on 2 wheels. It's not going to take much to disturb the balance of that motorcycle when you're slowing down. So that's why when we're riding, we got to keep our head and our eyes up. We need to be scanning and anticipating. That doesn't just include cars and people, it's the road. And when you're coming to that stop, if there's a crack, if there's anything that's imperfect, when you're going very slowly, it's going to make your bike want to do this. And so when I see that, even if I don't feel like I need that preload, going into the stage 1, I'm going to do it anyway because I'm already anticipating. I know what's going to happen. I don't want to feel that. So I just go into the friction zone. That way when I feel it, if it wasn't enough, I go into it a little bit more, brake, 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 brake. And when I was out in Illinois in that parking lot, the ground was all screwed up. And so exercise number 4, everybody was feeling that. I was like, it's a real world situation. All right, any questions on any of that? Okay, lastly, starting the motorcycle smoothly. That's what I want. Again, I'm looking at the suspension. I shouldn't see that. Unless you're doing open close. Everybody know what open close is? Yeah, open close is referring to your clutch. Sometimes opening the clutch slowly into the friction zone is not going to be advantageous based on what's going on. So sometimes what I want to do, so I don't feel that falling feeling, open close. I'm just getting the bike past that feeling. Because if you go to move your motorcycle and as soon as you open up the clutch, your handlebars start turning, what's happening?
We're falling.
That's right. That's the start of a fall. So if I want to correct that, I'm going to have to open the clutch to correct it. But if I don't even want to deal with that from the start, open close. Show you what that looks like. And it's a very quick open close. It's going to come in handy when we do
Open to stage
slow ride.
3 or 4, open stage 5.
One.
Just open to stage
Just
1.
one. Because all it's doing is picking us up past that falling feeling. It doesn't take a lot when we do anything we're doing out here. These are very small movements. But even if you wanted to do it up to a 2, you could. It's not really necessary. First gear. Cover the rear brake. Reload. That's it. Smooth stop. Just by doing that, I never felt this in the beginning. Right? All right. First exercise we're going to do, guys. Smooth, short starts and stops. Who's unfamiliar? Nobody? Okay, good. Those are the cones over there. The cones are 15 feet apart. Now, the amount of space between the cones is really not that important. Well, it is and it isn't. I don't want it to be too much space because the more space I give you, the faster people want to go. We're going to start at a cone and stop at a cone. Okay, good. We got 2 fixed fairings. If you ride a fixed fairing motorcycle, you have no clue where your front wheel is. So this is part of the dating process, as I like to call it, because everybody wants to buy a motorcycle and just get married to it. You got to date the bike first, so you can learn the bike, learn about it, get to know it. And so if you can't really see the front, you have to practice, and that's where judgment comes in. You have to be able to judge based on what you can see, which is why yesterday I was in these cones. I mean, my wheel placement was just excellent. I went back and watched the video last night because from riding my road glide, I now have a sense of where the front wheel is based on where the fairing is, right? And that's all this is, judgment, 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 okay? Smooth start, guys, smooth stop. I shouldn't see your handlebars straight as an arrow from one cone to the other. Start, work it out, friction zone, friction, and don't pass the cone in front of you. This is also about being situationally aware of your motorcycle. So Debbie yesterday in exercise number 4, she took out the cone a couple of times making the right turn. Left turn, she was fine. And this is important for us to see those types of things because I want you to look at those cones, the taller ones, not the short ones. Look at those cones like they're pillars, poles, your spouse's leg, like something you care about. You don't want to hit it, right? So if you start turning too early, you're going to hit it. So that's the dating process. You need to know, based on the size of your motorcycle, the width of your motorcycle, and looking at something, what can I do? How do I do that? I heard you're from here. I heard you guys have lane splitting now. It's like a month old? Interesting.
It's lane filtering,
Yeah,
but it's different.
Well, yeah, so cars are supposed to be stopped.
Stop. You can pull next to
and
them.
you can go 15 miles an hour in between, and that's it.
So I did a video, not on lane splitting, but it was specifically on, what am I going to do, Debbie? I'm riding my motorcycle because I'm on the sidewalk out there in Pooler, and then there's a scoreboard. So I have a fence here, and then the legs that hold up the scoreboard here. So it's a narrow area. What am I going to do in that situation to make sure I don't hit either side of that? Technique-wise.
I don't know.
Just don't overthink this. If you're approaching something narrow, if you're going to go between 2 cars.
I'm gonna slow down. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna fit before I go. I guess.
But see, that's part of the dating process. That's why we practice with cones. Because cones are going to give you the ability to judge stuff. And so you can eyeball it in the real world. If you always practice in this parameter, when I'm out there, I can look at that and go, I can fit through that. Just like you could do with your car. But when you first started driving, everything looked tight, right? Judgment. So here's the answer to that question. And it's so funny how all these things come together. I told you guys when you're riding today, I want you going so slow that your handlebars are doing this, right? Do I want my handlebars doing this when I'm trying to go through something narrow? So what's the answer? Most motorcycle riders will say speed, and they try to speed through it. No, because speed is going to mess with your precision. You might make a little mistake here or there. The answer is that you got to put that sufficient power on the rear wheel. Ride through it in the friction zone in a stage high enough to make sure those bars stay straight. As soon as you get past it, then you know. I did a video on riding on cobblestones. Did you guys watch that video? You did, okay.
That's
So,
my road, 1.5 miles from my house.
look at that. So here was the importance of that video. Now this wasn't my intention. I just wasn't thinking like this because I'm thinking everybody rides like me. Not everybody. But I was riding with a bunch of content creators and stuff. This was after I think it was my anniversary lunch. We went down to River Street in Savannah. Not only is that a cobblestone road, but the cobblestones are uneven, wet, and there's train tracks, right? So a bunch of YouTubers, I put them all on them from their comments, from their channels, stress levels through the roof. They hated it. I would never do it again, right? And why is that? Well, here's why. I told you before, this smoothness is what everybody likes. As soon as you introduce anything rough, motorcycle riders hate it. They don't like gravel roads. They don't like bridges. Zzz. Anything that's not smooth is discomfort. When really the answer to all of these things is the friction zone, or power to the rear wheel. But we're going to say the friction zone because these situations, you can't be going fast, right? So I introduced two things, a curb and people's driveways. You know how many people I know when they get to their driveway, boom, boom, they won't slow down because just that first feeling, oh shit. So they just boom, boom, up the driveway. What's the answer to that? So I added this to my follow the leader. For maybe 2-3 people that are left, there's a curb in the parking lot. I pull up to the curb and I stop. I stop with my wheel right on the curb. I don't want them to have a chance to get a running start. Wheel on the curb. So what am I going to do? Open, close. Remember, I'm covering the rear brake. Obviously I'm preloaded, open the clutch. I'm going to open it enough to get the front wheel over the curb. As soon as I get over the curb, pull it back in, rear brake, because I don't want the back wheel hitting it hard. So I'm not pulling the clutch all the way in. I'm pulling it to a lower part of the friction zone, but I'm on the rear brake. And when I feel the back tire touch, open, close, rear brake. That's all that is. But see, that's a moment in time. When you're on cobblestones, that uncomfortable feeling is sustained through the whole ride. But as long as you keep the power on the rear wheel, it doesn't matter. If you got good suspension, you're fine. All right? All right, I'm off subject. That's what we're doing. Any questions? Let's do it. Friction zone, friction zone, friction zone, friction zone. Smooth stop. That's when it's most important, guys. Coming out of a turn. Friction zone, friction zone. And this bearing is blocking it. I can't see the cones at all. Friction zone, friction zone, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Smooth stop. Foot up. See right there, I had to do an open close. I felt the bike falling right away. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Smooth stop. All right, let's do it. So right there, I don't know if you saw it, but when I was doing that, anytime I do this exercise, I try to open the clutch nice and slow. I have a nice smooth start. But on that last cone, when I started to open the clutch slowly, I felt the bike doing this. I had to do an open close to get it back on track. This is what I mean when I say, do based on what you feel. All right. Good, nice smooth takeoff. All right, next cone. She's got a fixed fairing, so she can't see where that cone is. Beautiful. Listen to her preload, guys. Right here, good. Friction zone, friction zone. Now the clutch foot, nice. One more. Outstanding. Oh my God. Is Curtis talking to you?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay. Guys, I mean, everything's perfect. Her foot's coming down nice and smooth. You hear the inputs of the preload. The clutch is out until she puts her foot down. Outstanding. Okay, here's her husband, no pressure. Nice. Beautiful. One more. Oh my God, man. It's like butter, man. Oh, guys, I know there's several definitions of a power couple. In Preloader Nation, that's a power couple right there. All right, we got Joel on the Goldwing. All right, too much speed. Slow it down a little bit. Preload, clutch. Dad, preload. Foot up. Good, 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 good. Much better. Do it again. Clutch, 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 clutch. So, yeah, you can back up, back up, back up. Remember we talked about that? We said when your wheels just start turning right from the start, what's happening?
It's going to fall.
Okay, keep going, keep going, keep going back. That's right, it's starting to fall. That's the beginning of a fall. And if it keeps going in that direction, what does that mean? You didn't open the clutch, you didn't address it. As soon as you feel it, address it, open, close. Foot up, good, good, clutch, 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 there we go. There we go. All right, and that what's good about that is you felt falling, you opened the clutch up, it sped you up a little bit, but the rear brake corrected it right away, good. It's not gonna always be perfect, guys, but we need to know what to do to work it out. All right, a little too much speed. Good, 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 good. All right, try it again. Good, 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 good. Beautiful, one more. There we go. Good, friction zone, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Good job. Oh, I love this, guys. We got the whole lot to ourselves. The whole dealership to ourselves. Ah, look at Doug here. Doing the damn thing. Nice, Doug. All right. All right, so we want to smooth that out. So right now what you're doing is when you get to the end of that stop, everything is coming to an abrupt stop. That's why your suspension's doing that. Ease into that stop. Friction zone, rear brake, rear brake. Good. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. All right, we still got a lot of compression in that front suspension. Good. Braking, 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 braking. Much better. There we go. Do that again. Good. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. All right, let's do another one. Last one. I'm talking about. All right, next cone. Now that one was smooth because he came out of speed. Here he doesn't have a lot of room for the speed, but there it is. All right, too much speed. That's why your handlebars are straight as an arrow. Let's go a little slower. Good, foot up. Too much speed, and here's why. When you start, you're opening your clutch, and it's staying in that same spot the whole time. That's why you're going too fast. Open it, and then close it a little bit. So your bike should kind of go like this. Then at the end, you might need it again, start opening. Okay? Good, good, open it, pull it in a little. There we go, pull it in, friction zone, friction zone. You're still keeping it open too much. As soon as it starts to move, pull it in a little. Preload, preload. Foot up, pull it in a little. Same thing, too much speed. Clutch is in the same spot. Open, close. Open it, close it a little. Good, work that out, work it out. Remember, that's on me. When I say close it, don't close it all the way. Okay. Close it to a lower part of the friction zone. All right, we're gonna work on it. Good job. All right, guys, so I'm gonna show him exactly what I'm talking about because I'm telling him, but I want him to see it. And I'm talking about the open close, but not close all the way. Sometimes you can close it all the way. Again, guys, this all depends on what you feel and the situation. All right, let's do it. So that turn that I just made, coming here and coming to a stop, that's when that skill is extremely important. Bringing that motorcycle to a smooth stop because it's more important coming out of a turn, all right? So, Jim, I want to show you something because what Jim was doing is he's opening his clutch. This is why I always record you guys on the left side of the motorcycle, because when you go back and watch this video, I want you to be able to see everything I'm talking about. Your clutch is what's really going on here. When he starts, he opens the clutch, and when he stops, between the time he starts and the time he stops, his clutch is in the same spot. That's why he's going too fast. So, open, close. What he should be doing is opening the clutch, and then as soon as it gets picked up, because again, I want you to be going very slowly. I want you to feel, oh shit, and understand it's not a big deal because, yeah, exactly. Open, and when I told him to open, close, that's my fault. He closed it. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, close it into a lower part of the friction zone. So open, close, and then work that out. And again, this is all going to be depending on what you're feeling. So if I want to make sure I'm going very slowly, I'm clearly not going to keep the clutch very high in the friction zone. Or what you could have done is, in that situation, if you're going to keep your clutch in that if you're going to keep your clutch in that stage of the friction zone, apply more rear brake, right? You could have done that too, right? Either one of them work. But the rear brake one is the one that's going to allow you to kind of stay straight. And I want you to, you know, I want the bike to preload. So right from the start, when the bike starts to move, pull it in a little. Rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. Friction zone, smooth stop. And so the reason, friction zone, friction zone, friction zone, friction zone, friction zone. The reason you know that this is all a feel thing. It's all a feel thing. When Debbie, when Curtis, when they're coming to a stop, friction zone, I hear the RPMs, they're steady, they're up, everything is looking good. I see the foot come out like this. That's when the timing mechanism for them has started, based on what I'm feeling. And when it feels like it's time to do it, boop, foot in. They're not relying on something working out and hoping it works out together. No, they're making it work by what they're doing with that clutch and that rear brake, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. Sometimes you put your foot out and then at the last moment, something will happen. Not time yet, because we're not going to stop like this, right? This is something that you just have to practice. And the beauty of this is, every time you ride your bike, you got to stop. So you can practice this every time you ride, including today. Every time you stop, please remember I'm saying this, because every time I say this, it's like I never said it. 15 feet, you didn't have a lot of space. And you didn't have a lot of space because I wanted you to be slow. That's how I want you stopping all day today. Even if you're coming from across the parking lot. Slow down to an appropriate speed so that before that stop, I want you to need the friction zone. That's what I want. I don't always get what I want, except at home. I say it all the time, my wife's amazing. All right, any questions on any of that? Outstanding. Next exercise we're gonna do is the slow ride. Who's not familiar with the slow ride? Everybody familiar with it? Perfect, you're not. Okay.
I haven't watched much of the YouTube.
Okay. So this is a simple one. I'm gonna walk next to you. You're gonna ride in the friction zone. Really, you're gonna be in and out of the friction zone. Don't pass me. You can ride at my pace or slower than my pace. But if you pass me even by a little bit, I'm gonna be like, oh man, you passed me. No rear brake, right? No rear brake. So this is open, close. We're gonna be going in this direction, so it's kind of an uphill, right? You guys are gonna go down here. When I call you toward me, I'm gonna be at that first cone. You guys are gonna be down here. When I call you toward me, ride toward me at a normal speed, and then I want you to come to a smooth stop, just like you did there. Then I'm gonna say, are you ready? You're gonna say, hopefully, yes. And then I'm gonna say, okay, let's do it. I'm gonna walk, you're gonna ride. To make sure you don't pass me, don't open the clutch and keep it open too long. Because I'm already telling you don't have a rear brake to slow you down. Open, close, and I want you to work it out. Now, some people might go, well, you told me to address it as soon as I feel it. I'm feeling it every 0.5 seconds. Open, close, open, close, open, close. You're gonna pass me. Open, close, and then work it out. If you want to ensure you won't need an open, close sooner, open it more and close it. But don't do it too much because you might pass me, okay? Everybody clear on that? Anybody need a demo?
Are we open and close? When you say open and close, you're asking me to pull it all the way in, or are you asking me to go to number one?
I'm asking you to pull it into what you feel.
Okay.
So if you, because a lot of the times I'll do it enough so that when I pull it all the way in and just work it out. 0 power. Because I want it to be at 0 power so I can feel uh-oh. And when I need it, remember, when I say pull it all the way in, pull it all the way in, but then go right before the friction zone. So when you need it, your next open close is easy. You're not coming all the way from the grip. Because that's why people waste time. Even if they know to open the clutch, if they have it all the way to the grip and they feel falling, sometimes that falling happens very quickly. And when they're starting to open their hand, they're still not there yet. And that's why they put a foot out, because they're like, shit, this is not working. Or they are there, but by the time they get there, it's not sufficient because they just made it there, right? So that's all that is. Anybody need a demo? No? All right. Debbie? All right, you ready? No rear brake? Good. Let's do it. Good. See how our handlebar started turning right away? That's an open-close moment. Very nice, Deb. Rear brake, smooth stop. All right. Good job. Oh! Smooth stop, Doug. All right, you ready?
Yep.
No rear brake.
No rear brake?
No rear brake.
Okay.
All right, let's do it. See, and that's what you're going to see, guys. You're going to see handlebars turning right away because they want to make sure they're not going too fast. And if they feel that, open, close, open, close. Rear brake, smooth stop. Good job. Good. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Well, easy. Friction brake. All right, you ready? No rear brake. Don't pass me. Uh-oh. All right, rear brake, smooth stop. All right, good job. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Ah, remember, smooth stop. That stop right there, you felt falling. Time to stop, foot down. All right, you ready? No rear brake. All right, let's do it. Uh-oh. Good. Good. Rear brake, smooth stop. I'll take it. All right, let's do it, no brake. Because right now, both of them, when they get to the very end of the stop, it's a feeling of falling and then they just jam the brake foot down abruptly. I want it smooth. Rear brake, smooth stop. Beautiful. That's what I want, guys. That's what I want. All right, guys, we're going to move on to everybody's favorite. Exercise number 3, trust and believe. But of course, I want to talk to them first. And again, I want to talk to Jim and Doug about their stops at the end. That's the most important part of that stop, the end. Any questions on that exercise? All right, so Doug and Jim, I want to talk to both of yous. That's New York talk. Both of yous. When you guys are coming to the end of your stop, it's like this, right? And it's because at the end of the stop, the end of any stop is the slowest you're ever going to be going. And you still don't like the way it feels. So you're feeling falling, you're jamming the brake at the end and putting the foot down abruptly. And so I want you to think about it this way. Many years ago when I took my driving test, I'll never forget this. The guy took points off and he said because when I stopped the car too abruptly. And so from that time on, I always concentrated on making sure if somebody's in the car with me, when I stop, their head doesn't do this, right? The only way that's going to happen is I have to be smooth with my brake and I have to be smooth all the way to the end. Now, of course, that's easier in a car than on the motorcycle because I'm not worried about the car falling over. But that's where the friction zone comes in. If we stay in the friction zone the same way the whole time, unless we need more at the end, then the stop will still be smooth. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. What you guys are doing when you feel uncomfortable, that's what you're doing. And the front suspension is doing that. Hey Curtis, your bike's on. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Nice and smooth. All right, braking, braking, braking. Friction zone, friction zone, friction zone. And that's it. All right, you guys picking up what I'm putting down? All right, that's just a matter of practicing it, but you can practice it all day. Exercise number 3, trust and believe. Do you trust and believe that as long as you provide sufficient power to the rear wheel of the bike, it won't fall over?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I I do, but it takes a lot of practice to do it every time.
Okay.
Same thing.
Yes.
What she said.
Okay.
Yes.
You trust it? You trust it. Okay. And you believe.
Yes.
All right. I'm glad he said that, because all day today, if I see you tap the ground, if I see you put your foot out at any time, you're showing me you don't trust it and you don't believe it. All right. That's what this next exercise is all about. It's called Trust and Believe. This exercise is designed to reprogram your brain to associate falling not with putting your foot out, but with opening up the clutch. That's what this exercise is all about, right? So I heard all your answers. We'll see. So we had a guy yesterday, what was his name? Brian. Brian's been riding a motorcycle 9 weeks. And before he knew about my channel, he actually had an accident. He hurt himself pretty bad, so he was out for a while. And when he got back, he got this motorcycle. So it was a new motorcycle to him. He did excellent yesterday. But what was most impressive about what he did yesterday is any time I would have bet money he was going to put a foot down, he never did. So the whole trust and believe thing, he practices it. When you can trust and believe that the bike won't fall with power, everything becomes easier to learn, because the only thing we're concerned about is the bike falling. Well, if we know it won't fall with sufficient power, and we know how to give the sufficient power, and we've practiced it enough, we've practiced it enough so that it is now in our muscle memory that when we feel falling, that's what our brain tells us to do, not this. Okay? All right. 5 steps in this exercise. What's always step number 1? Now we're coming back to the review. Help them out.
Oh, well, yeah.
Always step number 1. Yep. See, you're on the roll, man. You're on the roll. First gear, come across, cover the rear brake, come up, preload the throttle and keep it loaded, come back across, clutch. Now, preload this throttle and keep it loaded. So important. Now, I get it. What happens is when we get to step 5, people forget about step 3 and the bike stalls. Keep this throttle loaded. Clutch. Remember, we talked about being right before the friction zone. I need you right before the friction zone in this exercise, because you're going to need this power right away. Step number 5, I'm going to yell, foot up. When you hear me say foot up, don't think about it. Just pick your foot up. Now, I say this. People say, Rob, no. Foot up? No. As soon as you hear it. Because this is supposed to be mimicking an uh-oh moment. Uh-oh moments are not planned. So listen, if you look at my older practice session videos, I used to wait for the person to pick their foot up. I had to get rid of that because I'm sitting there going like this. You know, the goal is not to see how long the bike can stay up. So if I say foot up and you pick up your foot, and it's one of those times where the bike just happens to be balanced, you'll be sitting there for a while. But eventually it's going to start falling. When you feel it starting to fall, address it as soon as you feel the falling. I'm not going to say foot up. I don't want you to pick up your foot and just open the clutch. You have to feel falling. That's the only way we're going to reprogram your brain to associate falling with this. You got to introduce some feelings, right? The longer you wait, the more you have to open your hand. That's all. It's totally up to you. Sounds easy, right? But our instinct is to do this. And so that's what people do. Either people pull the clutch in, or they put their foot right back down as soon as they pick it up because they felt that falling. Or, like I told you earlier, they're jamming the brake so hard that when they do open the clutch, the bike doesn't move anywhere, okay? Again, make sure you're not in the friction zone. So I'm always looking at the tread on the front tire. And when I say foot up, a lot of times I say it and I see it starting to move. I don't want it moving at all. Trust and believe that it's going to work out. All right? Any questions on that? I'm going to give you 2 demonstrations. The first demonstration, I'm going to address it as soon as I feel it. I'm going to have one of you guys yell foot up. Matter of fact, Kurt, just come stand next to me. And that way I can hear you, because I had somebody do it yesterday. I'm preloaded. I couldn't hear her. So I'm gonna pull a bike over there. He's going to say foot up. As soon as he says foot up, I'm going to pick up my foot. As soon as I feel it, I'm going to address it. The second demo, when he says foot up, I'm going to pick up my foot. I'm going to let the bike fall longer before I address it. The only reason I'm showing you that example is I want you to know, don't give up. Like if the bike's falling and you're opening your hand and it's still falling, open your hand some more. Throttle it if you have to. It will stand up. We talked about that already, right? All right. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Smooth stop. All right, first gear. Cover the rear brake. Head and eye, straight ahead. Smooth stop. And again, when we do this, you're going to come to a smooth stop after you're done. Now, every time I say this, I never get it. Because your adrenaline is so high, when it comes time to stop, no, smooth stop, guys, smooth stop. All right, now I'm going to wait a little bit longer. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Smooth stop. First gear. Covering the rear brake. I'm preloading. Cover, head and eye straight ahead. Smooth stop. All right, any questions on that? Trust and believe. Again, don't overthink this. If you address it as soon as you feel it, it's a small movement. And again, this is also acclimating your body to the feeling of falling as a normal feeling. Because again, this is a control thing. We're trying to do this. But this is the reason why people don't like making U-turns or anything slow, because that feeling is always there. But if I really trust that this is the answer, I no longer fear this. Because I know it's not going to drop. You guys paid $350 for this. I'll refund your money if your bike drops with sufficient power to the rear wheel. And I'll quadruple it. That's how much I know it ain't going to happen. I literally trust it and believe it. We'll see if you do. All right, let's do it. All right. First gear, covering the rear brake. Preload. Foot up. Smooth stop. All right, you were moving. I said foot up, the bike just started moving. Wait to feel it falling. Foot up. Now you're moving again. Trust and believe, Debbie. Foot up. Smooth stop. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Good job. Touch. 10 push-ups. Unbelievable on the pull-off. Smooth stop. Friction brake, friction brake. There you go. Always want it smooth. All right. Preload. Foot up. Smooth stop. Good job. He felt falling right away. I saw the bike. It moved just a tiny bit. Good. Good. Friction brake, friction. Started out all slow, and next thing you know. All right. First gear, yes, covering the rear brake. Preload that throttle. Keep it loaded. Clutch right before the friction zone. Foot up. Now you're moving. Do it again, you were moving. Foot up. Smooth stop. Smooth stop. Good job, man. He even did a throttle blip. He did a throttle blip. All right, you're facing the wrong way. I need you straight. There you go. All right. All right, first gear, covering the rear brake. Preload. Clutch right before the friction zone, right before it. All right, good. Keep that throttle loaded. Keep it loaded. Give me more. Good. Make sure you're not in the friction zone. Foot up. Clutch, 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 clutch. Good. Smooth stop. Outstanding, Joe. Outstanding. Woo! Good. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. All right, it's getting better. Good. Preload. Keep it loaded. Clutch right before the friction zone. Foot up. All right, let's try it again. Make sure when you pick your foot up, put it up, because I think you put it in second or neutral. No, you put it in second. Well, I don't know. You kicked it. Kicked the shifter. Okay. Foot up. Clutch. All right, stop, stop. Try it again.
That thrust is tough.
That's it, man. It'll come. It'll come.
All right.
Make sure you're moving. There you go. There you go. Foot up. Push. Good. Smooth stop. Oh, you had it. Why you put a foot down? Do it again, man. Foot up. Good, good, good. Smooth stop. See, what you're doing is you're putting your foot down before it's time to stop. You're fine. You're putting your foot down before it's time to stop. Try it again, right from here. Foot up. Touch, 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 touch. Good. Trust and believe, brother. Trust and believe. All right, Jim. So he's good. You can see right there. He trusted and believed. He picked up his foot. The bike's falling, but he's opening up the clutch, so it wasn't going to fall. But he still put his foot down. Again, that's why we do this exercise. But he's already good because most people would have put their foot down way before he did. All right, guys. Time to start turning. Exercise number 4, right turns, left turns from a stop. What I should start doing, I should start asking people, do you trust and believe before and after that exercise? All right? That was excellent. It really was. And Jim, dude, you had it. Like, this is why it's important to have this stuff recorded. When you go back and watch this, because of course I'm going to put it in slow motion so you can get the real grasp of the bike going over and you trusting it and then losing trust in the middle. Because your foot came down at the end. You were fine. The only reason the bike went over that far is because you waited longer to open the clutch, but you were still good. All right? And you really surprised me on that gold wing. That was nice.
Surprised myself.
Trust and believe. Debbie, beautiful. Curtis, great. And Joel did a damn throttle blip. The bike's dropping. He was like, love it. Love it, love it. Listen, you're going to get people that say to you, you're showing off. Your proper response is, I'm just riding the motorcycle the way it was designed to be ridden. That's it. But the way you ride your motorcycles will always get attention. And so what I say is, when you pull up to a Harley-Davidson dealership or any place where motorcycles gather, by all means, feel free to make a U-turn and then go very slowly. Make a 90-degree turn. Stop like this and let the conversation begin. Because it's going to begin. And that's how you get other people to understand what we're doing and how important it is. And so for Jim, who's trying to get his hog chapter to come here, they're going to start looking at the way you ride. And sometimes that is what does it. It's like, holy sh! Look at what this guy's doing. I'm trying to tell you, man, practice. It's blah, blah, blah. Watch the channel. Whatever they want to do. Now, sometimes just telling people to watch the channel helps because some people's egos are too big to listen to you. But in the privacy of their own home, they can get some education. All right? All right. Exercise number 4, guys. Right turns, left turns from a stop. Highest failure rate out of everything. Right? But it's primarily because, like, what was Jim? What'd you tell me your strength was? Left turns, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's your strength, left turns.
Left today.
Left today. What was it yesterday?
Right.
Okay.
It's usually right, but sometimes it's left.
It was right yesterday. How about you?
No preference.
No preference? Left. Okay, and I asked these questions, and that's why Curtis said left today. Usually the answers that people give me, they're thinking about U-turns because people don't normally turn 90 degrees. Why? Anything that you do on your motorcycle with the motorcycle straight up and down at slow speeds is always going to be more difficult and always going to take more skill than anything leaning. Because what do I need to introduce in order to lean? Speed. And anytime I have speed, I have assistance from the motorcycle as far as keeping it up, right? So when we do this exercise, we don't lean. This is a gravel road. This is how you ride on stuff like that on your motorcycle. We're not going to lean in a turn. We're going to do it straight up. 90 degrees. We're going to start going left, and then we're going to do it going right. We're going to do this in 3 ways. The first time you guys come through here, I'm just going to go straight through. And then I'm going to have you come to a stop. I'll tell you when to do it, because we might go straight through twice, because it's only, 5 of us? Then when I tell you to, you're going to come to a stop. Now, when I do this exercise and I practice, I stop right here on the plus, right in the middle. And sometimes I stop here. Sometimes I stop here. 3 things determine the radius of a turn on a motorcycle, Jim. Give me one of them. Okay.
Yeah, speed.
Speed. Number one, yeah, you know it, but yeah, exactly. Number one, most of the shit I'm going to ask you, you're going to be like, oh, I knew that.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you think about it, you know.
And that's why, you know, it's so funny how only 2% of the motorcycle population really know how to do this, right, proficiently. The the number's even lower if you start talking about people that can teach people how to do it, you know. And people that know how to do it, sometimes they just can't articulate it, but they know how to do it, right? Speed is the number one contributing factor to wide turns on your motorcycle, fast or slow. All right, now that you know where we're at, give me another one. What's going to determine the radius of my turn?
I mean, I guess.
Yes, handlebars. And?
Lean.
Exactly. Speed, handlebar turn, lean angle. These are the three things that are going to determine the radius of a turn on the motorcycle. So, if I start here, I can actually start straight and still make the turn. If I start here, I have to start with the handlebars turn. I have to introduce that. If I start here, what do I have to introduce? Yeah, just like I did over there. The difference over there is I didn't do it from a stop. I was riding and I saw I wasn't going to make it. So in that case, this is what I'm talking about when I say the more we practice, our options start growing. Anybody else would see I'm not going to, well, most people ain't going to be even starting to make the turn like that. But if they are, if they still don't really trust and believe and they see they're not going to make it, foot down. Let me back up. When I know all I got to do is, I see I'm not going to make it, in that moment I got to make that decision now, because the closer I get, even that option is going to disappear. Boom. Okay, so yes, I have to introduce lean. Your goal, which everybody, you guys were doing this yesterday. That's why I'm not, every time I think about the rating you gave yourself, my stomach hurts. It's ridiculous. Your goal is to be in the middle of this lane when you make this turn. That's the goal. It doesn't matter if it is or not, but that's the goal. If you're out here, we'll talk about why you're out here. And if you're out here, we'll talk about why you're out here. So if you're going to hit a cone, keep going. Don't start changing what you're doing because you see you're going to hit the cone. I just want to see where you're going to end up, and then we can work on bringing that in, okay? All I care about in this exercise is don't put your foot down, period. You feel, uh-oh, trust and believe. That's why that exercise is always relevant. I don't want you practicing trust and believe in traffic. But it's always relevant in traffic, always. Anytime you felt, uh-oh, and you went like this, that's what you should have did, and rear brake if you're in a confined space, okay? All right, so when it comes time for you guys to stop, you can stop anywhere in this rectangle. That's another thing, Debbie. Oh, my God. So usually when somebody's really not feeling comfortable in here, if they're making a right turn, they are all the way to the left, giving themselves all the space in the world. You were right in the middle yesterday.
I always practice it in the middle.
Anyway, I mean, this is like an ultimate sandbag. Just so you know, I'm going to put some sandbags on the screen when I'm editing this video for both of you. All right. And then lastly, we're going to stop wherever you want to stop, make the turn, smooth stop right here. Smooth stop. So that's why I talked to you about this earlier. If I'm coming out of this in speed, it's more difficult for me to come to a smooth, controlled stop. But that's what we're going to be doing here. Straight up, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Straighten out those bars. Stay in the friction zone, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Bing! Clutch in. Questions? So the key to this, guys, is exercise number 2. When I was walking next to you, that's the speed I want you going. But try to find a good, even speed. Like, I don't want you approaching the turn like this. Because then you're not going to really feel comfortable about turning the handlebars. So, get the bike up to preload, listen to it, you like the way it sounds, set it and forget it. Clutch, open it up to, let's say, 1.5, 2. I like the way that is, I'm going to keep it there. I'm going to use the rear brake to control my speed. So now, when I go to make this turn, everything stays the same. If I do need to make a change, it's going to be with the brake. I'm going to keep my clutch. Remember I showed you guys earlier? Keeping the clutch right where it is and just using the brake. But I'm dragging the brake. I'm not doing this, right? Just like I'm definitely not doing this with my clutch. All right? Demo. And again, anything I'm telling you, it's not an absolute. So if I tell you go to about a stage 2, it's not like we know exactly where a stage 2 is. So open it up until it feels comfortable. Foot up, friction zone, rear brake, head and eyes, hold it, hold the turn too, hold it, right in the middle. Hold that turn, don't come out of it early. Friction zone, clutch is where it is, I'm gonna keep my clutch there, rear brake, hold that turn, hold it. Now I can come off the brake. Then we're going to do it from a stop. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Smooth stop. Head and eyes. Foot up. Dragging it, dragging it. I'm good. Then last, we're going to come to a stop. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Oh, I didn't mean to go this far, but foot up. Hold that turn. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Trust and believe. Okay, so a lot of people are like, well, how the hell are you starting the bike to turn? And I mean, like right from the start, I got the handlebars turned. Why is the bike not falling over? Because again, I'm going into the friction zone at about a level 1.5. And I'm opening the clutch fast enough so I can get the bike to, I feel the pickup, but I'm on that brake right from the start to make sure I'm not going too fast. So again, yes, this is so much scarier and concerning if you're trying to do it with no brake, just the clutch. So I'm preloading the throttle, pick up my foot, rear brake. The power is what's keeping the bike up, not my balance. The power. When I stop, then it's my balance. That's my balance. Friction brake, friction brake. Questions? All right, let's do it. Good, head and eyes. Good. Excellent. Go to the right, go to the right. Excellent, Debbie, excellent. That was beautiful. Beautiful. Head nice, head nice. On my camera, on my camera. Good job. Hold that turn, hold that turn. Good, slow down, slow down, slow down. Head nice on my camera. Keep it loaded, keep the throttle loaded. You hear it chugging? Keep it loaded, brother, good job. Straight through, straight through. Head nice on my camera. On my camera, Deb, you're looking at the cones. There you go. Good job. Good, good. Good, keep it slow, head nods on my camera and keep looking at it. My camera, you're looking at the cones. Easy on that rear brake. Keep the throttle loaded. All right. Good, head and eyes on my camera, keep looking at it. Good. Trust and believe, good job, man. Good, head and eyes on my camera. All right, a little bit too much speed, you see it leaning. A little bit of a lean. Too much speed, I meant to slow him down. Wherever you want to stop. I meant to slow him down way before because I saw he was going too fast. I thought he was going to slow down, I should have known he wasn't going to. All right, straight through. Clutch, clutch, clutch. See, it's always different when you do it from a stop, and that's why I don't want you that close if you don't need to be. Yeah, now you see where Curtis is stopping, because this is where he's at. Head and eyes on the camera, good. Excellent. See, that's where his skill level is at. And you can tell by people's skill level by where they choose to stop. Straight through, straight through. Slow down. Keep it slow, keep it slow. On my camera, easy on that brake. Easy on that brake. There we go, good job. Wherever you want to stop.
Straight through.
Straight, stop, 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 smooth stop. All right, straight through. Head and eyes on my camera. Keep looking at it. Push, good. All right, you're hitting cones. Straight through, straight through. That was his bag. Wherever you want to stop. Smooth stop. All right, that's different, way better. You ready to be up here?
Is that what you wanted?
I want you to stop where you're comfortable. And I don't think you're ready to be this close. So let's back up.
Okay.
Remember, you could be anywhere in this box. Okay, keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
All right.
All right, right there. Because I want you to have some space to kind of, you know, get it together. Preload. Good. Clutch. Foot up. Open the clutch. Open the clutch. Good. Start turning. Too much speed. See, that's why you're leaning. All right, good. Good recovery. Good job. Keep it loaded. Right now, his engine is puttering. Beautiful. Give me another stop over here. Clutch, clutch, good. All right. When we do this going to the right, I want you to just start back a little bit more, because when you start closer, right away when you go to turn, the bike starts to fall. This time your foot didn't come down, but you took out this cone. Right turn's next. All right, smooth stop. See how his foot comes up? Right there. So the bike was going to the right. What did he do? He pulled the clutch in or he hit the brake. Excellent job. I talk about that all the time. If your bike is falling to the right, how do you correct it? That's what he did. Either pull the clutch in or hit the brake. Usually pulling the clutch in to do it. Smooth stop. Smooth stop. Remember, don't come in with all that speed. All right, make sure you stay in the friction zone the whole time. Right now, I know the brake is extra sensitive on this bike. So nice and easy with that brake. Smooth stop over here. Head and eyes on my camera. On my camera. Good, good. Hold that turn, hold that turn. Smooth stop. All right, I'll take it. Smooth stop over here. No! Come back in, Doug, come back in. If you lose your balance, that happens. Feel free to stop and reset. All right, smooth stop over here. Again with that damn bag. All right. Smooth stop, smooth stop. Remember, I don't want that speed. I want you stopping the same way we stopped there. All right. Redeem yourself over here, smooth stop. Keep your throttle loaded. Right now, it's puttering. I want it to stay loaded. So do it. Go ahead, nice. Too much speed, too much speed. So what happens is your throttle's fine. As soon as you turn, it goes down. Because now you're concentrating on something else. So it's going bub, 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 bub. And now, not only that, you're in the friction zone a lot. So the bike, you're fighting it with the rear brake. I can tell by the characteristics of the bike. Yeah. Okay? All right. Right turn's next. Head and eyes up. Good. Good. Head and eyes. Trust and believe. There you go. She took her foot off the brake to put it down, but she didn't put it down. But she's still turning too early. And if you don't want to turn too early and you don't want to do a full lock, just start a little bit more to the right. I mean to the left. Give yourself a little bit more space. Keep it slow. Keep it slow. Keep it slow. Yeah, too much speed. Believe it or not. That's why you're leaning. That's what I mean when I tell people, you think you're going slow. Straight through. Straight through. Head and eyes on my camera. Keep looking at it. There we go. Clear those bags. Hold that turn. Hold it. There we go. Right in the middle. Not that long. First world problems. Keep it slow. Keep it slow. Keep it slow. Right there. Start turning. Turn it. Trust and believe, baby. 10, 20. Do it again. All right, you nicked that cone. Don't turn too early. No, straight through. Straight through. We're not stopping. And if you don't want to have to do a full lock to clear that, just start a little bit more to the left. That's all. But obviously, you don't need that. You just turn a little too early. See, too early. No, you're good. Actually, you're good. You're good. Straight through. Guys, straight through. Don't stop. Straight through. That time she just missed it. See Curtis's speed? That's the speed I want you going. Straight up and down. Any faster, you're gonna lean. Slow down. Slow down, slow down. Keep it slow right there. Stay at that speed. Hold that turn. There you go, big difference. Nice. Straight through. Good, head nods on my camera. Keep it slow, keep it slow, keep it slow. Start turning, rear brake, just drag it, hold that turn. That's what I'm talking about. Right in the middle, Jim. Beautiful. Perfect. Wherever you want to stop. He said it's less for better. I don't know, Jim. All right, straight through. Straight through. Good. Hold that turn. Hold it. Hold it. Trust and believe. That's 20 more. Smooth stop. All right, straight through. That happens. Now see, that time Curtis's bike was falling to the right. He didn't address it soon enough, so it kept going that way. He had to put his left foot down. Falling to the left, I'm sorry. Slow down, slow down. Good. Smooth, not smooth stop, straight through. Head nods on my camera. Start turning, good, hold that turn. Turn those boards. All right. Good, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. All right, we're still getting that at the end. Straight through. Head nods on my camera. Clutch, clutch. Ah, no leading in here. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Ah, we're still not doing the friction brake. That was your best turn of the day, man. I know you said left, but this is always usually the opposite in here.
Okay.
All right, straight through. Good, foot up, start turning, rear brake. Drag it, drag it, drag it. There you go. Nice, Jim, nice. He stopped, we're not stopping yet. Well, we are now. Good, smooth stop. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Okay, now you're in the inside. All right. Smooth stop over here. Just start out to the left, that's all. Or she can go straight, but then she got to really lock those bars. Nah, too early. Clutch, 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 clutch. Good, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. All right, smooth stop. There we go, reset. That's what I tell people, just reset. You don't have to, you know. Excellent, take a break. Good, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. You're coming up to this stop, too much speed. That's why he stops it like that. Nice and easy. Smooth stop over here. Head nods on my camera. Hold that turn. Straighten out. Good job, take a break. Good, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Ah, I'm gonna get it before you leave here.
You know what I'm doing.
You know what you're doing?
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Okay. Smooth stop over here, redemption. Head nods. Reset. Reset. Good. Hold that turn, see? Right. And as you're making that turn, I'm like, damn, you're gonna be right in the middle. And then at the last minute, you straighten out. Not bad at all, man. You got first world problems. That's what I like to call it.
We're gonna talk
First
about
world.
it, I know.
All right. Take a break. Smooth stop, nice and slow. Keep it slow. Friction zone, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Beautiful. You ain't ready to be that close. All right. Remember, keep that throttle loaded. Listen to it. Listen to the sound. As soon as you start turning, it starts going blub, 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 blub. Just listen to it. Coming to a smooth stop. Yeah, that's fine. But once you start turning, you let it down. Good. Open that clutch. Good. Keep the clutch where it is. Stop, stop, stop. Yeah, that's why I said stop. Start over. I saw from the start it was leaning to the right. Keep it turned. Keep it turned. All right, straighten out. So remember, open that clutch and then keep the clutch where it is. Just drag the rear brake. Good. Rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. Hold that turn. Good. Clutch, clutch. All right, take a break. All right, you coming in again? Come on, Deb. Smooth stop. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. So just so you know, even if you went over there, I was going to call you back in here anyway. That's the advantage of not having a whole bunch of people. All right, let's do it now. Nice and smooth. Smooth stop. Too soon, you're all over this cone. Go back around, do it again. Nice, smooth stop. Good. Start turning. Hold that up. Come back around. Do it again. All right. Here we go. We should be good now. Smooth stop, Deb. Good. Hold that turn. Hold that turn. Straighten out. Friction brake. Friction brake. Excellent, Deb. Excellent. Take a break. Copy and paste. Good, good, good. Rear brake, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. Hold that turn, hold it, straighten out. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. All right, we'll work on it, man, but that was good. Take a break. All right, not bad at all, right, guys? And that's the benefit of having less people, because ordinarily, if I got a bunch of people, it's not about you getting it today. You know, you just know you need to work on it, but let them do it a couple of times until they get it, and that's what I prefer to do. All right, guys. So we already started turning here. Now we're going to start turning and leaning and transitioning. Exercise number 5, single serpentine. Let's do it. All right. What'd you want to tell me, Doug?
Oh, one of the things I'm realizing, and I picked this up because of your 5 stages of the friction zone.
Okay.
We get to 1.5, get it there, keep it there, and modulate with the brake.
Yeah.
My error has been modulating with brake and clutch.
Ah.
And that's
gotcha.
also the reason I come to abrupt stops,
Yep.
because I modulate with clutch.
Yes. Yes. Yep. Set it and forget it.
I never realized that.
Look at that. I love it. So, I mean, listen, I love it because we all learn differently. That's why I always try to find different ways of explaining things. But I also tell people, that's why there's other YouTube channels out there, books, whatever, instructors. If I ever wanted to learn anything, I never went to one source, right? I go to other sources. This might be the one that I like the most, but I can get information. Even when I study for on any of my promotional exams with the police department, there were 3 different organizations that did study groups. I got material from all 3 because everybody's pretty much saying the same thing anyway. Sometimes there's differences. Sometimes they're saying things differently, but at the end of the day, it's all the same thing. Throttle, clutch, rear brake, head and eyes. Your head and eyes are excellent. Like everybody that comes, I'm looking at them. I always like to give people a chance. And I want to say, I'm going to say head and eyes if I don't see them turn their head and their eyes. I never have to say it to you. You just do it. And some of you guys are like this. And I see you starting to turn. Remember, it's head and eyes and then handlebars. And if you're doing that here, you're doing it out there. Head and eyes and then handlebars. And you want to give yourself enough time to be able to react. Whereas if you look and something's not right, you can stop controlled. Because if you go head and eyes, handlebars, oh, now you've created an emergency situation. Whereas if you turn your head and you see it, stop right there. I'm not even going to start turning because I see or I perceive something is not right. Okay? All right. Thanks for sharing that. Anybody have any questions? Exercise number 4. And I was telling Debbie, I'm glad she went back around because I saw her looking like, wait a minute, everybody's going for a break. And she said, can I do it one more time? I was going to have her come do it again anyway. When I have a small group like this, I have more flexibility. So I want you to end on a high note, especially if I know you could do it. If it's something I know you just don't have yet, again, this is not the place to try to get it. You can practice on your own. But when we have less people, we can do that. All right, if there's no questions, keep in mind, what he said was his favorite is usually the opposite. And I still don't know why that is. Why U-turns is one thing, but that is the opposite. I don't know. But not bad at all. When you're making your turns, again, keep that preload up. When you go back and listen to this video, you'll hear it. When you're going to make the turn, this is another thing about being the boss of the bike. It's going to change your perception as far as your lens and what you see. So people that you ride with in your hard group, if you didn't notice it before, you're going to notice something like, Jesus Christ, like nobody knows how to ride a damn motorcycle. And when you ride with them, you're going to say, I'll stay in the back, because that's actually the safest place for you to be. It's going to change how you hear things too. So right now, when you're trying to do this and you're nervous, you don't even hear the bike going blah, 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 blah. But that's what it's doing. It's a moment away from stalling out. So when you said, do you want me to keep the throttle up like this? I said, yeah. And you're fine until you turn. As soon as you turn, blah, 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 blah. And I hear the bike fighting. So your clutch is open. You're probably at almost a level 4 in the friction zone. So you think about that. You're in the level 4 plus your RPMs are too low. It's all just like, But again, this is the wrinkled t-shirt theory. T-shirts designed to cover the upper part of your body. They don't all look as good as that one or this one. But whether it's wrinkled or not, it's still doing the job. And that's what that is. If you guys are out here doing stuff and it looks, but you still do it, that's fine. Practicing is the iron. And it will iron out that t-shirt. So now not only is it effective, but it's going to look good. All right. So we started turning already, and you guys did pretty good. Now we're going to start leaning and transitioning. We're going to do a single serpentine, exercise number 5. So with that being said, I'll meet you guys over there. All right. Exercise number 5, guys, single serpentine. Now this exercise, a few people had an issue with this yesterday, and some people do, because again, speed is always the answer to everything for us. Now, yes, we're going to be going faster in here than we were in exercise number 4, but we can't be going too fast, because exercise number 4, I told you guys, I don't want you going too fast because I don't want you leaning. And so if you went just a little bit too fast and I saw your bike do this, I told you, you're leaning, you're going too fast. Here, I want you to go a little bit faster because I want you to lean, but you can't be going too fast because I want you to turn the handlebars. We're not doing this. We're turning, and we're transitioning, and we're leaning. The goal is not just to get through these exercises, it's how you get through them. So if I'll have somebody come here and go through the cones straight up, that's not the exercise. I need you to know that you can lean these motorcycles, but we don't need a whole bunch of speed to do so. So this is the first time we're going to be leaning today, right? Nothing crazy. It doesn't have to be extreme. The cones are 15 feet apart. I'm just telling you that for informational purposes. What people like to do when they do this exercise is treat it like a ski slalom. Boom, boom, boom. Hitting every cone. I don't want you to hug these cones. They don't like it, right? They are not affectionate at all. So what we're going to do here, now normally when I do this, I'm in a parking lot and I use the line. So you have lines on both sides and then one down the middle. You don't have that line now. It's kind of something right here. But don't worry about that. The point is, I want you to be wide in these turns. See how my bike is set up? When people normally do this exercise, they approach it like this. And so already they're positioned to do this. But that's not what I want. The only way my bike's going to get in that position, I had to have started from out here. And I didn't start turning until I got right here. Because I'll tell people to do that. They start wide, and then they start turning early. And they end up here where I don't want them. So this is the angle I want your motorcycle at every cone. Also, I'm closer to this cone than I am to that cone. That's how I want it to be. If you start this turn and you end up right here, if you're here, it's going to get tighter as you go down. But we have a remedy for that. I'm going to say something out loud and I want you guys to repeat it. Holding turns buys you space and time. Holding turns buys you space and time. Remember that. That's going to be relevant here and the rest of the exercise we do. So if I make this turn too late and I see that the next cone is coming up on me too quickly, what's going to help me to buy some space and time is to hold the next turn a little bit longer. In other words, go out a little bit wider. That's going to buy you some space and time. So when I do this exercise, that's why I could do this exercise with no brakes easily. Because by making the turns wide and then transitioning, because it's wide, it's not forcing me to do stuff quicker. The straighter you are, the quicker you got to transition to the next turn. But if I keep it wide, I can almost do lazy turns. Whee! Boom, boom. But I'm not going to do lazy turns because if we transition slowly, we're losing space. Transition, transition, transition. Nice and wide. Start wide, stay wide. The wider you go, it's going to force you to slow down, but it's also going to, well, not force you, but help you lean, okay? Because if you're close to the cones and leaning, you're going to hit the cones. It's that simple, all right? Questions? Now, as I'm doing this, you guys are going to be going in this direction. Keep your head and your eyes straight ahead, all right? Don't look at each cone. Your peripheral vision will pick up the cones. Counterbalance your body. Keep your body straight up and down. Let the bike lean under you. Now, let me talk about counterbalancing. Counterbalancing is not the as-all bees. You don't have to do it, right? If I make a U-turn, I counterbalance my body. If I lean with the bike is still going to make the U-turn. This just feels better. When you're going very slowly, nobody wants to be like this, making a slow turn. If I'm going fast, yeah, I lean with the bike in the turn. So I just want you to know that. But counterbalancing is going to make you feel better. It's going to feel better. And we're always in our feelings. I told you that, right? All right. Questions? Demo. Always in our feelings out here. We have to be because it's dictating what we do and how we do it. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. And that's what I'm going to show you guys. Even if I'm coming out of speed, when I stop, I'm stopping smooth. Now coming back, that's the way people want to do it, all the speed. No, but going down, I didn't need to brake at all. And to make sure I didn't need to brake, I made sure when I turn, at some of those turns, I actually locked the handlebars. You don't have to do that, but just keep in mind, whenever you turn your handlebars, no matter how much you turn them, your RPMs go down a little bit because it's creating drag. It's not a lot, it's a very little bit. But it might matter. It is going to help you slow down by turning. Okay? But keep in mind, going in this direction, you're going down a hill too. So keep that in mind. Questions? All right, Debbie, start wide, stay wide. Good. Head nice, straight ahead. Very nice. Beautiful, Deb. Beautiful. Very nice. Keep it wide, good. Good. You hear that engine puttering? Throttle is still too low. You gotta keep that preload up. It's always one person that, you know, they're not really noticing how low the throttle is, and then when we get to a certain exercise where they have to turn and lean, that's when it matters more. Very good, Doug. Yep. Good correction, Joel. Very nice. Because he was going a little bit too fast. He wasn't going to make that next turn unless he corrected it, and he did. Watch her swing out. Look at that. See the swing out? She's got it, man. I'm telling you, because she's got less room over there because of that curve. So I said to myself, damn, I should have moved this over. And the only way that's going to happen is if you do a swing out. And that's exactly what she did. Excellent. Excellent. So this is what I mean when I say the lens changes. She looks at a situation and knows if I want to approach it like he said, the only way I'm going to be able to do that, I have to swing out. That's exactly what she did. Excellent, Curtis. Head and eye, straight ahead. Good, good. Very nice, man. Very nice, Jim. Doug was doing a slow ride on the way up here. I like it. Nice. Head and eyes are straight ahead. Counterbalancing his body. Dipping and diving. Transitioning nicely. Nice and smooth. Very nice. He's starting too close to that cone. Keep it wide, Joel. Keep it wide. You're hugging those cones. Nice and smooth. All right, guys. We're going to move on to everybody's favorite. Exercise number 6, the infamous U-turn. All right, let's do it. Questions on the single serpentine? You know, the other thing I love about these exercises, first of all, they all build on one another. But there are always going to be some people that learn backwards, or the way they learn doesn't really make a lot of sense. Because in my mind, if you can't do one thing, yeah, you're probably not ready for the next, and then they prove me wrong. That single serpentine, I'm telling you, some people are struggling like crazy with that exercise. And it's mainly because they're not comfortable really turning the bike and leaning it, right? You guys did very well, very well. And what I noticed too is, it's all a part of being a boss of a motorcycle. I realized, I told you guys, we didn't do this yesterday, but I said when you come back around, if you started on the right side, which you all did, this time start on the left side. Now I'm looking and saying, oh shit, look how close that curb is.
Yeah.
I should have moved this exercise over.
Didn't
And
even see it.
in my mind, I'm saying if I see that, and I know how I have to enter that, how he's telling me to do it, I need to swing that bike to the left. Deb comes around that corner. What does she do? Swings to the left. That's what I'm talking about. Little things like that show me where you are as a motorcycle rider at slow speeds. All of you did that. So, outstanding. You were kind of hugging the cones a little bit. Matter of fact, you took out the first one the second time. So, outside of that, good. Your bike is still puttering. And so, when I do these practice sessions, there's usually one person that for some reason they can't get that together. This is where it bites them because the bike stalls out. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm going to keep telling you, keep it loaded, because again, if you're doing it here, you're doing it out there. All right. Welcome to exercise number 6, guys, the infamous U-turn. And it's called infamous for a reason because people don't love it. But this is the first group of people that everybody said, yeah, I like making U-turns. Good. That's a good thing. All right. Nothing about your answers today has been consistent. Every answer he gives starts here and starts going down. All right. 27 feet is what we have here for the width. But I prefer you be at 24 or less. If you want to do 18 feet, that's this box right here. Just don't go past that line. That's the box you're in. Or if you want to try 18 feet without the confinement of those other cones, try it up here. When you make your U-turns in here, I want your U-turn to end with your bike facing straight. I don't want you like this. I want you straight. Right turn, same thing. I don't want you like this. We clear about that? So as long as you guys are clear about that, when you make your U-turn, if you come out of the turn and you're going to the side, in that moment, you're not in full control of the motorcycle. So if something was there, you hit it. Okay? So again, this is about a few things. When we're approaching this U-turn, here's the key for 24 feet. I don't even think I need to talk about this in this group, but we'll see. The key to 24 feet is doing stuff right away. First of all, on the approach, get that speed, not speed, preload. Listen to it. You like the way it sounds? Jim, keep it there.
Keep it there.
Clutch. Wherever you are in the friction zone that's allowing you to go to this speed, because make no mistake about it, I don't want a momentum U-turn in here. Don't get up to a speed and just coast through it. Because while you're coasting through that U-turn, you're not in full control of the bike. Power to the rear wheel is what puts you in control of your motorcycle. So I want the friction zone pulling you through this U-turn. Head and eyes. Don't turn it slow like this either. Head and eyes. Are you going to give it to me today, Deb? Because
I'm going to try.
I say, Deb, head and eyes. She goes like this. There you go. And I'm like, look at me. No, this is it. Head and eyes. Turn it as far as you can turn it. And handlebars. Now, when you turn your handlebars, guys, turn them. Like Deb, I was watching the video yesterday, one of the U-turns you made, maybe it was the first one. When you went to make the U-turn, you went like this. And so that's the only reason that turn was all the way to the side.
Yesterday was all the way over.
Yeah, because you barely turned the bars. And however you turn them, keep them there, if it's enough. So head and eyes, handlebars, turn them and keep it there. Now, after you turn them and keep it there, commit to the lean right away. If you don't commit to the lean right away, that's what's going to make your turn wider. So remember, head and eyes, turn and lean. I'm always looking at the light under your bike. And when I see head and eyes, handlebars, I still see the same light. Then when you get to the top and you see I'm not going to make it, now you lean. It's not too late, but it's too late if you wanted to keep that turn tight. Head and eyes, handlebars. That's what I want to see. Head and eyes, handlebars. And I don't need a full lock. I don't need anything dragging the ground. But if you commit to both of those things right away and hold that turn 24 feet or less, easy all day long, especially if you're riding a Harley-Davidson motorcycle, because as we know, these motorcycles can make an 18-foot turn straight up. Lock the wheels, lock the wheels. Lock the front handlebars, and authority of me, duck walk the bike, and you'll be in 18 feet. So we talked about the three things that determine the radius of a turn. I'm not leaning there and I'm at 18 feet. So if you can give me lean, if I'm allowing you to lean the bike, 24 feet should be super easy. If you really think about it, right? We're gonna do this three ways. First way, since everybody said they loved lefts, left U-turn, right? Left U-turn. Then when I tell you to, you don't know what you don't know. When I tell you to, you're gonna come to a smooth stop. Then you're gonna make a U-turn from a stop. It doesn't mean you have to be right there and just make it. Unless you want to do that, let me know, and we can work that out. Otherwise, you can go straight first. This is just simulating a turning lane that you have to make a U-turn on. That's all that is. Then we're going to stop, make the turn, and stop. And then we'll do the same thing going right. Questions?
When we're doing go ahead. When we're doing the straight through, no stop U-turn, no sweeping turns without power. Always
Never. That's right. I want you in the friction zone the whole time. And so that's why. What speed do you think you should be going to make a U-turn, Nick? I mean, Jim. A tight U-turn.
Pretty damn slow.
Tell me how slow you think. If you had to put a number on it.
8.
2, 5.
Not extremely tight. 24 feet. 2 is going to fall. It's too slow.
Yeah. 2 is too slow. 5. I'm gonna go 7. That was my number.
7 to 8. 7 to 8 is very tight. I'm going to show you that in a second. But you guys could be going 10, 11, 12 miles per hour, right? You can be. You don't have to be, but you can be. I want you to be comfortable. So I just want the U-turn to look smooth, and when you're out there in the real world, I don't want you to feel any stress when it comes to making a U-turn. I just want you to make it. But that's why we need to practice in the cone. So I can eyeball what 18 feet looks like, what 27 feet looks like. Most stuff out there is not 18 feet, so I pretty much know I'm good. That's where I want you to be, right? Head and eyes, handlebars, commit, hold it. See, nothing extreme. Right now I'm doing this with no brake. Head and eyes, handlebars, commit, hold it. And so I could do this off, no brake. But I won't do that because I want control. So right here, you can see the speedometer. How fast am I going? Can you see it? 7, 8, 7. Friction zone, friction zone, friction zone, move, stop. So I show you that because if I can go 7 or 8 miles per hour with the bike dragging, right? At that lean equals risk. The more you lean the bike, the more perfect things have to be. If I want to keep that turn that tight, I need to stay right there. If I pull the clutch in, I slow down and hit the brake, the bike's going to fall. Come on, Deb. Beautiful. Yeah, and you're slowing down too. You're slowing down. Good job. Head nice. Head nice. Good. Head nice. Not bad. Maintain your speed. You're slowing down right before the turn. Head nice. Handlebars. Stop right here. So what's happening is there's a reluctancy for you to lean the bike and turn. Like when I go head nice, you go like you barely turn.
I know, and I did like 20 of them in a row this morning, and I got it, but you know. And
make sure you don't slow down, because that's always going to make you not want to lean.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Still, good job. Don't get no better than that, man. Beautiful. Good. Hold that speed. Head nice. Keep the clutch where it is. Rear brake. Rear brake. Beautiful. Beautiful. Good. Good job. Good job. Good. Keep your speed up. Keep your speed up. Head and eyes. All right, so he's not turning his head and his eyes, and he's not committing to the lean or the handlebar turn right away. He's doing it. It's a gradual turn. We don't want it to be gradual. We want it to be intentional. Turn. Straight through. Good. Head nice. Handlebars. Turn those bars. Hold that turn. Hold it. There you go. Much better. Straight through. Smooth. Stop. Friction brake. Friction brake. Friction brake. Outstanding. All right. Straight through. Good job. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. All right. Straight through.
A little better, right?
U-turn. A lot better.
So I'm just going to start and then go, right?
Yeah, but make sure when you turn, commit to that lean right away. Turn it with intention and hold it. Good. Stay in the friction zone. Head and eyes. Rear brake. Rear brake. Hold it. Hold it. Excellent. Excellent. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. All right. I want that smoother. Now, that last U-turn you made, you're not committing to the lean or the turn right away. You're like this. You want to turn and go for it. All right? Good. Head nice. Keep the speed up. Head and eyes. You're looking at the ground. You're looking at the cones. Good. Not bad. Not bad. All right. Too much speed on that stop. Nice and smooth. That's what I want. All right. Straight through. Head and eyes. So right there, you see how he had to make up for that lean because he didn't commit to the lean right away. Good. Friction brake. All right. Straight through. Yep. Good. Commit. Commit. Rear brake. Rear brake. Rear brake. Good. Straight through. All right, beautiful. Smooth stop. Smooth enough. Right turn's next. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Still too much speed. Make sure you're coming slower. U-turn's looking good. Come to a smooth stop. Redeem yourself. Good. Commit. Rear brake. Hold that turn. Hold it. Easy on the brake. Woo! Right turn's next, brother. It's friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. All right, you're still stopping out at too much speed. All right, nice and easy. All right, smooth stop over here. Redeem yourself. Turn those head and eyes, man. Good. Head and eyes. Commit. Lean it over. Hold that clutch. See? All right, good job, man. Good job. Smooth stop. Nice job. I'll take it. Too much speed. Coming up here with too much speed. You're saying to yourself, I want this bike to do the work for me. No, no, no. Slow down so that you need to do the work. And when you make that last U-turn, you notice that when you get in the middle of that U-turn, now you have to lean it more. That's because you're not committing to the lean right away. I promise you, if you commit to it right away, you'll have to lean less. Okay?
Yeah.
Just commit to it right away and hold it. Come to a smooth stop.
Yes, sir.
Good. Commit. See, you're not committed, and now you are. So that's what's going on. Anybody that makes these tighter turns, they deal with that more. You have to commit right away, because if you don't, now you gotta compensate for it. Now you're leaning the bike over extra, and then the end of the stop is like this. It's like a swoop.
Okay.
First world problems.
Next ones are 24-foot circles, or 24-foot U-turns, and early commit and stay commit.
Next one's the right turns.
Right or left, I don't care.
All right.
Commit to start on the stay.
Okay. Good. Commit. Turn those boards. All right. Stop right here. Smooth stuff. So you're doing it again. When you go to make that turn, you're turning like this. La, 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 la. Commit. Turn those bars. All right. Still good, though. All right. You're good. You're good. He's annoyed by that, but his rights are not as good as his lefts. I noticed that yesterday. Good. Keep that speed up. Keep that speed up. Head and eyes. Commit. Turn those bars. All right. We'll work on it. Good. Head and eyes. Handlebars. Turn those bars. There you go. You guys don't like to turn right. Turn those bars, Joel. Go to the right. Straight through. Head and eyes. Commit. See, he keeps having to make up for the lack of commitment in the middle of that U-turn. And that's why you see the bike go like this, and then at the last minute you see it go like that. You know, you don't want to, straight through. You don't want to have to do that if you don't have to do it. You know, especially with a passenger. Lean equals risk. Same thing, you're doing a gradual turn. It's a gradual turn. Turn those bars. Straight through, Kurt. Head nice. Yeah, you're not turning those bars all the way. And he waits till he gets here and sees he's not going to make it, and then he turns them the rest of the way. He's still making it, but again, if you commit to it right away, not a problem. Go, hold that, hold that. There we go. Go to the right. Good, head nice. Turn him. Rear brake. Drag it. There we go, that's better. Go to the right. So same thing when you went to make that turn. Remember, lean equals risk. So we don't want to have to lean more than we have to. You're starting with a slight lean and then throwing it into a deeper lean. Just commit to a lean right away and hold it. Commit to it.
Whatever lean I got, commit to that.
How long you guys been married?
45 years.
So clearly you don't have a problem with commitment. Commit to the lean right away. Good. Commit. Go. Hold it there. There we go. That wasn't smooth, but I'll take it.
Hey.
So, you know, I don't know what it is when you go to that one was like you on a country road. Turn those bars. Yeah.
Felt like it.
Turn those bars. Straight through. That's good. Head nice. Tuck it in. Slow down. Too much speed. Too much speed. Too much speed. Straight through. Straight through. When she just swooped through that U-turn, too much speed. And so right there, even from a stop, same thing. Too much speed. Smooth stop. Friction brake. Friction brake. Friction brake. Good. U-turn. Straight through. Turn those bars. Commit. See, you're still not committing right away, but you're good. If you commit right away, it's easier. He turns them almost all the way. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Ah, Jesus. All right. Right at the end, you give up on it, and it goes like that. Friction brake, all the way to the end. All right. U-turns are looking way better. That first U-turn, you didn't want to turn. The next time, I saw you went like this. That's right. Commit and hold it. Good. Head nice. Commit. Rear brake. Curb. Tuck that elbow. All right. Straight through. Straight through. Straight through. Straight through. We're not stopping yet. All right. Straight through. No stop over here. Good. Head nice. Commit. Tuck that elbow. There we go. You got to turn those bars. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake.
I'm still using the clutch to modulate my slow speed, but I'm getting there.
All right. Straight through. Punch. All right, all right. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. All right. Smooth stop over here. Too much speed the last time. Head and eyes, handlebars. Rear brake, rear brake. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Nice, nice stop. And what the issue is there, now it looks good. Now we're dealing with the consistency. You go to turn, then the handlebars come back like this.
Yeah. Normally when I practice at home, I just go around and keep doing it, and then like...
No, do it this way. Because going around and around, are you doing it inside of cones?
Well, yeah, inside of cones.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just go around and then keep doing it.
Oh, okay.
Keep
I see what you
doing
mean.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So on, I don't know what my problem is.
Listen, these are first world problems, like I said. Take a break. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. All right, smooth stop over here. Right now, you're turning like this, and then when you get to the top, then you do that.
I agree.
Right from the way. Lock it right away. Commit. Commit. Yeah, you don't like it. Because if you locked it right away, you're at 17, 16 feet, easy.
Right.
First world problems. Good job. Take a break. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. All right, smooth stop over here. That was better. It was better. Good, commit. Tuck that elbow. There we go. Hold it. Good. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Take a break. All right, that was excellent. Start to finish. Good. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. All right, that's better. Smooth stop over here, Joel. Tuck that elbow. Turn those bars. Head nice. Commit. Head nice. Head nice. There we go. So imagine when you got right there, then all of a sudden you went like this. If you started like that, you're right here, right? But again, excellent job, man. Good. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake.
That was still at number one, I think. No?
I don't know what the hell that was, but I know when you stop, it's like this.
It was.
All right, redeem yourself. Smooth stop over here. Good. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Oh shit, that was worse. All right, here's what I want to do. Do me a favor. Ride your bike over here, meet me over here.
Yes, sir.
I want to try something with Doug. We're going to do like exercise number 2, but you can use the brake. We're going to ride in the friction zone.
Okay.
Right next to me. Wherever your clutch is, keep it there. Right? We're not going to use the brake yet. Just use the clutch. Then I'm going to tell you to start braking. Brake, brake, brake. Don't change the clutch. Keep it right where it is. Until you come to a stop. Yeah. All right, so let's do that. Good. Open up the clutch more. Open it up a little bit more. Leave it right there. Start braking. Open it up more. See how the handlebar is still moving? Brake, 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 brake. So now in that case, at the end of that, it's too much clutch because you can see it's fighting. But that's basically the principle. That's what I have to try to get people to do.
That felt like a number 3 if I want to call it
yeah,
5.
You don't want to be at a 3. But with her on the back, you're going to get this more anyway. Right? All right. Take a break. Go that way. All right, guys. Figure 8 time. We're going to stay right here. Just got to move some cones around. All right, that was excellent, though. We're going to talk about it. Any questions on the U-turn? Let me tell you something, man. Every now and again, I witness a metamorphosis, and that was Jim. That last U-turn, again, the U-turn was nice, but I'm looking at the stops. Stop. I said, all right, Jim, make a U-turn. He made a nice U-turn, but he picked up speed in the U-turn. So I said to myself, this stop's going to be. Nope. Friction zone, rear brake, because he's got space. He saw he had the space. It was the smoothest stop of the day. I'm not expecting it to be here, but again, it's because we're practicing. Every time he stops, he's practicing it. Outstanding, outstanding. Debbie's still talking about, I don't know what's going on. You're still in the box, right? But again, when you commit, like the first time Jim came in here, he went to turn, he was like this. It's almost like, rigor mortis of the arms. That's what I like to call that. Then when he came back, when he came back in, I saw the commitment. He just said, boom. Big difference when you commit right away. And I was telling Doug that a lot of times when you make U-turns in the 18-foot box, that whole committing right away is even more important because you're losing, you don't have as much space to give up. And then you wind up leaning more to compensate for that. So, first world problems, but it shows you that no matter where your skill level is, that commitment to do it right away, people are reluctant to do it, right? Just a matter of, it all goes back to trust and believe, right? Yeah, and so you got to commit to that handlebar turn. Slow down.
I can do it, I just don't always do it, so it's just more practice.
It's me, so for some reason, Lori says the same thing to me. Something about you, Rob, you make me nervous. I'm fine every other time. I got nothing but love. I don't know why I'm making people nervous, but anyway. All right, so we're going to take those same skills and apply them in this exercise. This is exercise number 7, the figure 8. So all we're doing is making a U-turn, just like you were doing, but we're going to hold that U-turn, hold it. What does holding turns by you?
Space and time.
That's right, space and time. Critical in this exercise. Hold the turn, hold it. And then you're going to make another U-turn and hold it. And then you're going to do it again, and then you're going to get out. You're making 2 of them. So, keys to success. When you come in, that's the entrance. This is the exit. Everybody know what a ka-ching is. I know Jim don't know what a ka-ching is. Okay. You do this successfully. Don't put a foot down. Enter in the right spot. Exit at the right spot. Don't hit a cone. When you watch the video, as soon as you go through this gate, you're going to hear ka-ching. Now, every now and then, somebody did it yesterday. Actually, it was the guy that's been riding for 9 weeks, Brian. He got here, he went like this with his hand. Every time somebody does that, now I got to sync it up perfectly with their hand. No big deal. All right, so feel free to do it if you do it successfully. When you come in here, again, this is when you're getting it all together. Preload, even your preload was better, right? Preload, good. Set it and forget it. Clutch, I like it. Set it and forget it. Drag the rear brake, that's going to control my speed from here on out. Wheel placement, I want you about right here. The closer you can get to this, the better. Now, everybody doesn't need 27 feet. By the way, the length is 46 feet, if you want to know. Head and eyes. Look at that green cone. Go for it. Now, when you make this turn, I had people yesterday making a turn, all this space given up. Now, if you lean the bike enough, doesn't matter. But if you don't, it's going to catch you down there. Just like if you start early over here, it's going to catch you over here. So I want you to use all of the space if you need it. Head and eyes, I'm looking at that green corner coming all the way to the top. I'm holding this turn. As soon as I get to the 12 o'clock spot, my eyes are going to go to that cone because that's where I'm really going. And I'm going to hold this turn. Hold it. Hold it. Now yesterday I had a guy coming out right here. If I come out here, I'm just cutting myself off with a ton of space. Hold this turn. Head and eyes, handlebars. When you transition, you should be facing that building. Now, by holding that turn that long, a ton of space. Head and eyes, handlebars. Transition like you mean it. Head and eyes, look at that green cone. All the way to the top if you need it. 12 o'clock, head and eyes. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Don't start coming out. Hold it. Head and eyes, transition, and then do it again. Do it twice. Good to go. Questions?
2 up gets double ka-ching.
Only if she's riding the bike too. She's just on the back, you just get one ka-ching.
You don't get what you don't ask for.
That's right. Now that you asked for it, I might give it. The only time I gave a double ka-ching, this ka-ching thing is real. My Florida ambassador was like, I forgot to do it for him. And he was like, what happened to my ka-ching? So the next time he did one, I had to give him 2. I'm going to demonstrate it. First time I'm going to use all the space. And then the second time I'm going to knock it down to 4 parking spaces. What do I have to change to do that, Jim?
What do you got to change?
Yeah.
Well, you gotta
If anything. Well, clearly I have to change something.
Well, you gotta go slower probably. But you
Same
gotta
speed.
do more- Same speed.
I'm going to go to same speed.
Brake.
No,
More brake?
that's the same thing with speed. I'm just turning the bars more and leaning more. That's all. Keep my speed exactly the same. Because you're right. When I give people more space, they go faster. We don't need to go fast. Placement, all the way to the top, head and eyes. Hold this turn, head and eyes, hold it, hold it, hold it. Transition. All the way to the top. Hold it, hold it. Transition. There we go. Questions? Remember, you got to do it twice. Debbie, show them how it's done. All right, we got Deborah going. Right here, right turn. Very nice. Different things are being added in here just based on the layout of the exercises. Different skills. Hold that turn. She was a little early. You're starting that first turn too early. There we go. So Debbie, right from the start, she didn't come all the way to the top, so she made that next turn tighter than it had to be. When she came back, she made that turn, so. Beautiful. See the transition? He's facing the building. He's facing me. See, look, it's coming right at me. That's how you want to transition. Beautiful. Throttle is steady. Clutch is steady. Beautiful. All right, so Doug asked me for 2 ka-chings because there's 2 people on the bike. I don't know about that, Doug. 1 bike, 1 ka-ching. He's a little early, but he's good. See the transition? Look at him coming right at me. Listen to the throttle. Preload is steady, keeping it loaded. Look at him coming right at me. Clutch, clutch, clutch. Good. Should be looking for the exit. Head and eyes are good. Excellent, excellent. Good, come on. All the way to the top. Hold that turn. Keep it loaded. Hold that turn. Hold it, commit. Nice. Hold that turn. You're going to maintain your speed in here too. Good, hold it. Transition. Transition like you mean it. All right, hit that cone. Keep it loaded. Transition. So he only made one mistake. He didn't transition quick enough on the second one right here. Look for the exit. Look at the exit. Oh, that's not the exit. That's the exit. It didn't matter. He had a cone anyway, so he wasn't going to get a ka-ching. But then that would have sucked. Come on, come on. All right, he's really early. Early at the top, too. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Transition. All right, too early. Transition too early. Hold that turn. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Too early on the transition. See, he's just making this turn tighter over here. He's good, though. Good. Hold this turn. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Transition. There you go. And now he's transitioning slow. So you got to put all these things together. Make sure your transitions are quick enough and make sure you hold the turn. That's the exit. All right, you hit the last cone, too. Go all the way to the top, Deb. All the way to the top. Good. Hold that turn. There we go. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Transition. Good. Good. Hold that turn. Come on. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Transition. Too early, Deb. Too early. Transition too early. Hold it. Hold it. Transition. There we go. Watch your speed. Watch your speed. That's the exit. Yeah, she's good. I mean, one mistake there. I was telling her to hold it. And she was like, that's enough of that, Rob. Time to transition. And that's what got her over here. Again, if she's leaning the bike enough, that's not a big deal. But because she's not leaning it a lot, she can't afford to give up that space. You got to hold those turns. See, like her husband, see how much he leans? So he can afford to. See how he came out that a little bit early? But he's good. And even with that, he holds it nicely. See, right here, he's early. But he's good. He's right on top of those cones over there, but he leans enough where it's not a big deal. Remember, I don't want you coming at an angle when you do the transition. I want you coming right at me. Good job. Take a break. Now watch his transitions. Coming right at me. I want a fat 8, not a skinny 8. See? Right at me. That's how you want to transition. That's how you maximize your space for the next turn. Look at that. And then he's got a ton of space over there. He doesn't even need it, and he has it. Excellent. Take a break. All right, he's early over here, but he's good. Hold that turn. Hold it. Hold it. Transition. There you go. All right, we got it this time. Good. Hold that turn. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Transition. There we go. He's slowing these transitions coming this way. Hold it. Hold it. Transition. Good. Look for the exit. All right, he's past the line. Excellent. There you go. But the rule is no cone. He didn't hit the cone. If there was a cone there, he would have hit it. So based on the rules, I have to give Jim a ka-ching. Now don't hit this cone coming in here because he almost hit it before. He almost hit it again. Wow. Go all the way to the top, Joel. Good. Hold that turn. Hold it. Head and eyes. Come to me. Hold it. Hold it. Transition. See? Slow on that transition. Good. Good. Hold the turn. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Transition. There we go. All right. We got this. Good. Hold that turn. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Transition. Oh, this is money. Look for the exit. Look for the exit over your shoulder. Go for it, baby. There we go. All right, guys, we're going to move on to exercise number 8, offset double serpentine. We're going to talk about this, though, because this was excellent. Excellent. Any questions on that figure 8? Not bad at all, man. One time you went through, that one time, actually it was Debbie, too. The one time you didn't hold that last turn, that's what made you hit a cone. That was the only thing you did. Then you went out the wrong way, too, but thank God you hit a cone, because to do that thing nice and it go out the wrong way is just a sucky way not to get a ka-ching, right? But if you are leaning the bike more, then it doesn't matter. But as much as Curtis leans the bike, and as much as Jim leans the bike, not Jim, I'm sorry, Doug leans the bike, still they're transitioning with the bike face, especially Doug. His bike is, I mean, if I'm standing at that green cone, his headlight's right on me. So he's got a ton of space, even though he doesn't need it. That's what I wanted you all to do. You're coming out of that hold it too soon. And now, that's the only reason you didn't make it, Deb. Oh, I was like, oh my God. I'm not talking about the first time. The only reason you didn't make it is because you're coming out of it too soon, and now you're making it so that this is tighter. That's all you got to do. First world problems. All right. Exercise number 8, guys. Offset double serpentine. Who is not familiar? You all are. Beautiful. Up. I always got to stand by and wait because your answer, the first one's never the.
Always one.
Yes.
Serpentine, but is this what'd you say?
It's an offset double serpentine. So 7 gates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The green cones are just if you need extra space, which I don't foresee anybody here needing. But sometimes things happen, and if it happens, just go around the green cone instead of going through the gate, and it can put you right back on track. Here's the key to this. What is holding turns by you? Space and time. That's what was biting you all in the ass in this exercise. Don't make it happen here. In this exercise, it's essential because remember I told you, it's not just getting through it, it's how you get through it. So how my motorcycle is facing is how I want you to enter. I even put an arrow on the ground for you guys. I went above and beyond this time. An arrow and a plus, or an X, however the hell you're looking at it. That's an X. When you come here, through this gate, as soon as you get here, exercise number 5, dip the motorcycle and go towards this. Because what people want to do is go right for the gate. And they want to do it like this. And it's sharp. I don't want it like this. I want it like this. It's almost like you're doing figure 8s again. This is all about being fluid. And unless you lean the bike a lot, you have to do it like this. Otherwise, if you come right to this gate, because you don't lean a lot, you're going to be past this gate. And we're not doing this. No. Again, it's not just getting through it, it's how you get through it. So, when you come through here, head and eyes, look at that, dip the bike, go for it. I mean, again, we're not going to do this like this. Dip it, because you're losing space if you do it the other way. Hold it, head and eyes, transition, hold this turn. Favor the green cone. Favor the green cone. Hold this turn. Hold it. So favoring it means I'm closer to this one than I am to that one. As soon as I get to this gate, head and eyes on the gate I came from. And hold the turn. I got an X on the ground right there too. Hold it. Hold it. Don't start coming out early. Hold it. I want your bike facing the cone you came from. Transition from there. Look at all that space. Now I don't have to lean a lot. Favor the outside cone. I'm giving all of this space. Beautiful. As soon as I get here, go for it. There's an X on the ground. Hold it. Hold it. I want your bike facing the gate. Head and eyes, transition. Now the reason people don't want to hold the turn is because, damn, now it seems like I got to make a sharp turn. Nobody wants to turn the handlebars. But you guys are doing it. For instance, Jim, when you first came in the figure 8, you were off that first line by this much and made that U-turn with no problem. So you clearly don't need 27 feet. That's beautiful. So you're not going to have a problem holding these turns and making the turn, okay? Questions? So again, as soon as I go in here, dip. And again, your goal is to be, your handlebar should never be straight in this exercise. Turn, head and eyes, and when I transition, fall into the turn. Hold the turn, head and eyes, fall into the turn. Not literally. You know what I mean. Dip it in. Hold that turn, favor the outside cone. Hold it, transition. Hold it, transition. Hold it, transition. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Questions? Let's do it. Good. Dip it in. Good. There we go. Hold it. Good. Very nice. Hold that turn. There we go, Deb. That's what was missing yesterday, holding those turns. We got to reposition the body. Excellent. Excellent. Get it in there. Get it in there. So Deb only hit that last turn because her transition was slow. So she's losing space, that's all. She could have leaned it in more, but she's not comfortable leaning the bike that much yet. Watch your speed. Good. Good, hold that turn. Hold it. Hold it. Transition, there we go. Woo! Keep it loaded. Now you gotta hold that turn. Hold this one, hold it. Hold it longer. No, wrong angle. See, now you're past the next gate because you're not holding it long enough. Keep it loaded. All right, stop right here. Well, not that kind of stop.
Sorry.
You know. So yeah, you started out perfect. Then all of a sudden you stop holding the turns. As soon as you stop holding the turns, now you're approaching those gates from the side because you're past the gate to get to it. Just keep holding them. That was good. Yeah, he started out perfect, and then all of a sudden, started falling apart. Hold the turn on every turn. Trust me, every turn. All right, I would prefer him hold that longer. All right, hold this turn longer because you did that one quick. Hold it. Hold it. See? No, you're not holding them long enough. So now you're past the next gate, see? You got to hold those turns longer. Yeah, use the green cone. There you go. Go, hold this turn. Come on, come all the way to me. Come on. Come on. Now transition. There we go. That's how we got to hold them. Hold that turn. Transition. Lean it in there. There you go. All right, not bad. Hold them longer next time. All right, and you're going to notice that Curtis doesn't, very nice. But I'd say he doesn't hold them as long, he doesn't have to. Very nice. He's coming, look, you're coming right towards that. Watch. Look, right at it. Look, right at it. Beautiful. Just ride to the X's and you'll be fine. Transition at the X's. I expect some of the same from Doug here. Oh, right to that X. Hold the turn. He had to come out of it a little bit. That's how good he did it. Right to the X. Right to the X. Early of the X, but it doesn't matter. He's on the inside cone there. But again, he's good. Good. There we go. She's going right to those X's. You can tell when somebody's been practicing because when they're given certain instructions, they get it like right away. Yeah, pick up where you left off. Yeah, they get it like right away. So she sees the X's and she knows I'm just going to go to the X's. See? Look at that, right to it. Trust and believe, Deb. Trust and believe. All right, take a break. Good. Hold this turn. Go to the X's. Good. Transition. Good. Go to the X. Transition at the X. Good. There we go. There we go. You stopped going to the X's. You did it again. You did it again. All right, take a break. I mean, he was doing it perfectly. Then all of a sudden he said, enough of these X's. I know you put them down here for me, Rob, but I'm not using it anymore. Good, go to the X's. Go to the X's, too early. Way too early on the transitions. That's the wrong X. Good, come to this X right here, over here. Hold that turn, hold it, transition. There you go. Find the next X to your right. No, not that one, over here. There you go, use the green cones. Dip it in there. Good job. Take a break. Very nice. Light inputs on the rear brake. I see them coming on and off. So he's not dragging the brake the whole time. Right now he's off, he's on. Excellent. Excellent, Curtis. All right, last but not least, Jim now, he's got his bride on the back. Rules don't change, guys, but the responsibility level does. And she's smiling, as she should be. He's trusting and believing, and she's trusting and believing in him. Outstanding, just outstanding. Let me show you guys something. I thought this looked cool. It almost looks like a picture, at least through my eyes it does. So you see my road glide? Well, not my road glide. The one that Gil was gracious enough to loan me. Look at the mountains in the background. That is cool. All right, guys, Abominable Snowman, let's do it. Questions, offset double serpentine. Now I'm convinced that Jim is with me at this point. Because one thing I noticed is that you could tell when somebody really practices, because the instruction that you give doesn't have to be as detailed because it's familiar. So when I said, hold these turns longer, go to the X's. Debbie's going to every X. Every X. The only reason you hit that last cone, Debbie, is because that last transition was like,
Yeah.
that's the only reason, right? Other than that, it was good. Jim, second time, I told him he was holding the turns and then he was like, all right, screw this, I'm not holding him anymore. So I said, Jim, that's the only thing that messed you up. So he comes back in, I tell him, follow the exits, and he's doing it beautifully. Then on the third one, he just goes, screw this, I don't want to do it anymore. And then all of a sudden, now he's right on top of the gate. So holding turns buys you space and time. I told you it reigns supreme in that exercise, all right? That's it. So that's what I mean when I say, guys, you guys are all excellent. Whether you know it or not, you're excellent. This is just a matter of fine-tuning this stuff. Wheel placement, holding turns, stuff like that. The stuff that people really have a problem with, you guys already kind of have that. Not even kind of, you have it. The friction zone, keeping the throttle loaded, trusting and believing. You know, a couple of non-trust and believe. But now Debbie, it's funny, one time she was stopping coming out of one of these turns, and it was exercise number 4, I forgot about it. And I noticed she didn't have her foot on the front, on the rear brake, and I'm like, why the hell is she not covering the brake? It's because her bike was falling to the right. And she started to put her foot down. And then she picked it back up. She never put it back down. I always love to see that. Because that's when, I like to say from the movie The Matrix, when Morpheus said,
he's beginning to believe.
I do know how to do it.
Yeah.
I just don't always do it.
Exactly. But it's getting in there. Consistency, exactly. It's getting in there.
It takes so much practice.
The other thing, I was going to actually run you guys through it. It's not even part of this. But I watch you guys park. We've already done exercise number 4. I've already had you do it and come to a stop. So I don't know why when you guys are parking here, you do it and then it all falls apart. You know, you stop it with the handlebars, turn, all kind of stuff. Nothing changes from that. 90 degrees, head nice, turn those bars, keep powering the rear, brake, friction brake, straighten out, friction brake, bing, that's it. So before we leave here, I want you guys to do that shit again. This time we're going to do it right. All right. Exercise number 9, guys. Are you going up there today? You're going up there today? Okay. Yesterday, because what I try to tell people is when we get here, I'm looking for clean runs, right? Clean runs. Yeah, he'll be up there. Clean runs. And what I mean by that is we got 4 circles here. Have you ever done Snowman? Okay. No big deal. I'm standing in a 27-foot circle. The green cones just separate the circles. 27, 25, 22, 18 at the top. The top is not necessary. But what I love about this exercise is, and some people took advantage of it, if the only circle you want to do is this circle, then this is the only circle you have to do. This is your entrance and your exit. Come in here, you go out there, unless you screw up. If you screw up there, just go out the side, right? The keys to success in here, placement. That's why the motorcycle's right here. That's why that X is on the ground. In the vicinity of there, that's where I want your front wheel. Now I'm riding a road glide. I can't see these cones. But I can see him as I'm coming up to him, but once I get close, I don't know where the front wheel is.
I'm pretty good at hitting all of them.
And Debbie sure did do that. She was like, I thought that's what we were supposed to do. She was boom, boom, boom. Did it!
I'm showing you I know where my wheel is.
Yes, I know where I know you know because you feel it. Boom, there it is. Oh yeah, because she's the only one here with the road glide. But you have a fixed fairing as well.
Yeah.
But I've been riding this style motorcycle long enough that I know where the front wheel is by judging, right? Placement, that's where I want your front wheel. And the reason I want it here is because now we're gonna hug these two cones. I tell you not to hug those cones. These cones are affectionate, they don't mind. Hug them. Placement, hug them all the way to the top. Now commit. Because if you place the wheel and start if you commit to the turn right there, whatever you give away here, you're gonna have to make it up over there. Now in 27 feet, that might not be a big deal. But the tighter the circle gets, the more important your wheel placement is. Just like everything else out here, right? Placement, hug them, commit. So what I'm gonna say is, even if this first circle, Doug, even if you don't need all of this space, I still want your wheel right there. Because we're practicing placement, right? Placement, put it right there. We're gonna do this twice. The first time we do it, we're gonna start on this side. That's our left turn. Next time you do it, you're gonna start on the right. I got an X over there too and an arrow. So if you come in here, if this is all you wanna do, placement, hug them, commit, go around, you can go around and go right back out. Or you can go around twice and go right back out. If you wanna proceed to the 25-foot circle, proceed through these two cones. Now remember, a lot of people are hitting this cone because they're trying to get over as much as possible. It's not necessary. Long as your front wheel is here, placement, hug them. Your back is going to catch up, so don't worry about it. Commit. If that's all you want to do, go back into the 27 feet, go back around, and go back out. I think Debbie yesterday, she went back into the 27 feet and just went straight out. No, you want to go around. I think it was Debbie. I don't know. I got video. I go back into it. And so on and so forth, guys. You only have to go as far as you want to go, you feel comfortable going. Again, I want clean runs, so what I'll say is, I already know that I don't know, I assume because I was wrong yesterday. When Curtis comes in here, we're starting left. Left, right, left, right. Right's not his strength. So he may not try the top circle when we start on this side. I have people do this, but when we start on that side, yeah, he might try it because now his strength is at the top, okay? That's why we're doing it both ways. Questions? I love you guys. You guys are on the money. I'm going to demonstrate it and then you're going to have at it. So right from here, obviously I'm going to start with the handlebars the way they are. Placement, hug them, commit. I don't have to worry about placement. I'm already there. Just hug them and commit. Reload. Clutch, foot up. Hug them. Hold the turn. Does that sound familiar? Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Come all the way over to the left. Placement. Hug them. Commit. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. All the way to the right. Placement. Hug them. Commit. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Placement. Hug them. All the way to the top. Commit. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. No stop. Questions? All right, let's do it. All right, got Debbie. All right, she's early on the placement. All right, good. Commit, commit. Good. Hold that turn. Good, Debbie. All the way over, all the way over. All the way to the top. Commit, commit. All right, shut it down. Don't hit all the cones. Shut it down. Nice and smooth. Nice placement. Nice head, nice. Everything is smooth. Body posture. He's doing the wheel placement perfectly. He doesn't need it all, but like I said, I want them to place the wheels anyway. They don't have to hug the cones all the way around, but placement, there we go. Look at that, all the way to the top. Very nice. No reason why he can't do this top circle. He's going for it. You just didn't like it, but you had it, man. You had it.
Wheel placement okay?
Your wheel placement was fine. You just didn't lean it over and keep it lean. Because when you lean the bike right away and turn the handlebars right away, as far as when you commit, if you do it right away, you don't have to worry about an excessive lean in there. Going a little bit slow. Yeah, you want to speed up a little bit. That's why he's got to speed up right here. See? And speed up there again. You got to keep that speed constant. See? Inconsistent speed. That's what causes that. I'll tell him about it. Alright, he's early. Good job. Good job. Very good job. Head and eyes, excellent. Look at the head and eyes. Counterbalancing. Very nice. Beautiful, dog. Beautiful. Oh. Ooh, he just missed that cone. That was a high cone. He would have hit it. That would have sucked. Do this whole thing clean and hit that cone going out. It's happened though. Good. Placement. Hug him. Go all the way to the top. Commit. Easy on that rear brake. If the bike's jumping forward too much, you're in the friction zone too much. Keep it loaded. All right, shut it down. Nice. Keep that throttle loaded. It's puttering. Way too early, Jim. Way too early. That's why those cones are right on top of you. Go all the way to the X. Good. Hug them. Commit. Commit. There you go. What the hell are you doing in there? Too early. Too early. Listen, the fact that you even went into that top circle, that's the C word, man. That's confidence. But you were way too early. Way too early. Yep. The fact that Jim even said, I'm going to the 18-foot circle. It's confidence. I love to see it. Confidence looks good on all of us, guys. It looks good on all of us. Good. All the way to the right, Deb. You're early, you're early. Good, hold that turn. All the way to the left, all the way to the left. Hug him. Commit. Slow he's going, so right here he's going to have to speed up. And that's why you see the changes in the speed. Again, we want it to be smooth. It's not a big deal. Right here he's going slow. When you lean it over, right there you got to speed up, see? Then he slows down again, speed up right here. Now he's going to slow down again up here. Wheel placement, hug him, commit. Going around again. Excellent. Excellent. Really? What the hell? Take a break, man. That was awesome. That's what I mean when I say, guys, we're human. He goes around the 18-foot circle twice. That takes a lot of skill. And then the next one screws that up. But that goes back to the inconsistency of the speed. The reason he felt falling is because he was going too slow for that lean. And then when he wanted to make up for it, the jolt of speed pushed him wide, and that's what took him out of that turn. As you see here, his speed is the same the whole time. That's the goal. That's what you want to do. You don't want to have to deal with a bunch of, moving around, herky-jerkiness. Very nice. Good control. You saw that? His front tire just nicked that green cone. And then I thought to myself he was going out. Rear brake. Correction and control. Perfect example of it right there. Perfect example of it. Excellent. You're not going home till we get that. Good. Hold that turn. Hold it. Hold it. Good. All the way to the right. All the way to the right. Hug those top cones. Go to the top. Commit. Commit. Hold that turn. Nice and easy on that rear brake. Hold that turn. All right. Good job, man. Good. Nice throttle. Keep it there. Good. A little bit more speed. Just a little. Keep it loaded. Good. All the way to the left. All the way to the top. Commit. Hold that turn. Hold it. Why did it drop?
Why did it drop?
Yeah.
Because I let off the gas. I pulled in the clutch.
Pulling the clutch. That was all. You got right there. You said, screw this. Boop. You didn't trust and believe. That's all. All right. First world problems. All right.
Nice job.
Take it over there. The fact that he's even in this damn circle.
Yep.
Unbelievable. All right, guys. It's bonus time. To lean or not to lean? That's the question. Any questions on that exercise? Let me tell you something, guys. That was a beautiful thing to watch. It really was. It just was. Jim, beautiful. Like I said, the fact that you're even at the top of that circle, that's the C word, confidence. Otherwise, you're not even going to be up there, right? So just outstanding job, guys. Outstanding. What happened with you on that second circle?
Trust and belief failed.
So I'm going to tell you what the contributing factor is to that. So when you come in, you're going too slow. And what you do is, when it's time to lean, now you have to speed up and then slow down. And you do that in every circle. So when you get to that top circle, if you just keep your speed constant the whole time, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the smoothness. That's how Curtis's is, smooth. So when you got in that top circle, yeah, you were fine. You went around twice. But then the second time you came around, it was too much speed. So you had to slow down. And then when you had to make the turn, you had to speed up again. That jerk of speed, that's what took you out. So it wasn't really a lack of trust and believe. It made you go so fast that you couldn't make that turn. You wouldn't have been able to make that turn. So first world problems, like I always say.
I'm learning to modulate my speed with the rear brake and stay at 1.5 or 2.
There you go. There you go.
That's my focus.
There you go. Just keep it steady. That's the goal. All right, bonus time. Who's unfamiliar with to lean or not to lean besides Jim? Everybody else? Well, I know you two are. Deb, did you practice? You didn't do it yesterday, did you?
I didn't. I was
You were
really
tired.
not feeling good at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
How are you feeling today?
Yeah.
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling a lot better actually.
You gonna do it?
I don't practice this like Curtis does, but I'm gonna
Don't matter.
try to.
Let me tell you why I love that exercise. Yesterday, people would have put money on Otis.
Yeah.
Because Otis was killing it out here yesterday. And so Brian said, my money's on Otis. Otis didn't do so great in that. Because some people that do very well at this type of stuff don't do as well on the straight up stuff. And that's what this exercise is all about. So you know what? I meet you guys over there. Yeah, you know what? We'll talk about it right here. 10 cones. I'm sorry, 7 cones. The cones are 10 feet apart. It is not a single serpentine, but you can treat it as such if you want. The exercise is called to lean or not to lean because that's what you have to decide what you're going to do to get through them. Are you going to do it straight up or are you going to lean? Now, I don't give advice on this exercise. I just say everything we've done today, apply it here. And if you have highway pegs, fold them in. That's all I'm going to say to you. I am going to demonstrate it 2 ways. I'm going to do it straight up going down, and coming back, I'm going to do it leaning. We're doing the best of 3. So if Debbie does 6 cones, because 6 is the most you can get, I'm giving you the first cone. You just got to pass it without hitting it. Somebody hit it yesterday. 0 cones, right? That's a given. Just pass it without hitting it. I'm going to be behind you with a camera, counting out loud your cones. 1 cone, 2 cone. If I say that's it, don't just keep hitting all the cones. Just shut it down and get out of there, right? If Debbie gets 6 cones twice, we don't have to do it 3 times. It's over. Best of 3. Questions? All right. Let's do it. 1 cone. Yeah, that approach is not going to work. 2 cones. 3 cones. 1 cone. 2 cones. 3 cones. 4 cones. 5 cones. 6 cones. 1 cone. 2 cones. 3 cones. 4 cones. 5 cones. 5 cones! All right, so the Gold Wings handlebars don't turn like a Harley, so 2 cones. Oh, that was close. Very nice. 3 cones. Good. 3 cones. A Gold Wing does not turn like a Harley. One cone. 2 cones. That's it. 2 cones. 2 cones. Again, this approach, that big angle. 2 cones. 3 cones. Nice. 4 cones. 5 cones. 6 cones. All right, Curtis, if you get 6, it's over. No pressure. One cone. 2 cones. 3 cones. Good. 4 cones. Catch up with the brake. 5 cones. 1 more. Lean it in there. 6 cones. All right, the rest of you guys are going for entertainment purposes only. Two cones. That's it. 2 cones. That's it. 1 cone. That's it. 1 cone. 1 cone. All right, guys. We're gonna move on to exit interviews. All right. So this is day 2 for you, for the both of you guys.
Yes.
How you feel?
I feel a lot better today.
Yeah. How about you?
Great.
Yeah. Clearly you did. So it's every now and then. Like when I go to Ohio, there's a guy named Lee Sturgis, awesome V.I.Preloader, and whenever I come there, he does both days. Mm-hmm. And so definitely your second days for both of you were better than your first for a number of different reasons: fatigue, whatever, familiarity, nerves. Yeah. You did great. Okay. Do you remember what you rated yourself today when you first started?
I said 4.
I don't like to sit. I don't want to get hit with a sandbag. Any change in that number?
5.
I respectfully disagree. Curtis?
I started 6.5. I'll go 7.
Listen, pleasure to meet you both. They got the sandbag and have to stop, Debbie. Enough's enough.
Well, I want to be a 6. That's what I want to be my number to be, but I don't know if I proved it. So, yeah, that's why I said 5.
Well, I respectfully disagree. I think it's too low.
Thank you.
All right.
That makes me happy.
You're welcome.
Said that.
Enjoy yourself?
I enjoyed myself, Robert. Thank you very much.
Good, man. You did awesome, man. You remember what you rated yourself when you first came out?
5.5.
Any change in that number?
I'll move to 6.5.
What's wrong with the car? Oh, you're not even from here, so I can't even say that.
It's got to be at least 7.
Okay, I'll go 7. But what I've learned is I'm not done learning.
And none of us are. I still respectfully disagree with that 7. I still think it's too low. Rephrase. I know it's too low. Give me my mic. It's way too low. You do the top of the Snowman not once, but twice. That's not a 7. I'm not just talking about that. Everything in the whole. I don't argue with people. I just say I respectfully disagree.
Thank you.
Get the hell out of the chair, man. Sandbagging. All right. You remember what you rated yourself when you first came out?
Yeah, it's a 4.
You can change that number?
Yeah, I'm gonna go down a half.
Okay. All right. All right.
It's tougher than it looks when you
Yeah.
just watch it on video and everything.
And you said this is the first time you've ever practiced with cones.
Yeah, and and some of these other I haven't done
Exercises.
them all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good.
So-
I told you in the beginning we were gonna pop your cherry.
Yeah, you
So-
did. You did.
You can't ever say again, never done this before. But when you heading back home, don't say today.
I'm gonna go for a ride up to $1 Million Highway and then head home.
Today?
No.
Oh. I was
No.
about to say, dude.
Tomorrow I'm gonna head up down that way and
All right, do me a favor, please.
probably go over the side.
Shoot me an email or something. Let me know you got home safe.
Okay.
Okay, that goes for all of you.
Well, and I appreciate it very much.
Thank you,
Pleasure
man.
to
Appreciate you. You too, man. You enjoy yourself?
I did.
Yeah,
Yes.
you
I started high
Oh, what'd you rate
because
yourself
I
when you
was
got here?
high.
He said 7. Yeah, I remember.
I said 7,
He said I
which is
started
not
high
even
because I
true.
was high. No, but in your defense, you said 7, then you said 6, then you said 5, and then you said just kidding. So I don't know what the hell it is. What
So
number
I'll
would you give
myself
yourself?
a 4 or 5. I'll say a 5
Okay.
to start.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't
And
have a problem
then-
with that.
Now I'd say 6.5 maybe.
Okay. Pleasure to meet you, man.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much.
All right. All right, listen, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. This is practice session number 114. Well, this was practice session number 114, but we're done. Let me tell you something, guys. They did phenomenal out here today. Again, I did a video called Are You an Average Rider? I forgot to ask them what they rate themselves, above, below, or average as a rider. But I want you to check that video out. I put it on the screen up here because it's eye-opening. Again, a lot of the times, some of the things that stand in our way as far as learning anything is our perception of things and how we view things. Sometimes our view or our vision is way off. And I find that to be the case when it comes to people that ride their motorcycles. And that's why I always say, if you can only see through my eyes, you'd understand what I'm talking about. Everybody here is an above average rider, period. And if you want to know how I came to that, watch the video. But I want to thank you guys for watching. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please do so. Hit that like button, share these videos. And if you want to be notified every time I put a new video out, hit that notification bell, switch it to all. Once again, huge shout out to the GM here, Gil. I'm going to have to give him a call because he's going to come back here. And once we put everything back in there, he's going to lock up. So I want to thank him. Again, I want to thank Chris. He's the Rider Academy manager for this range. And he moved stuff around just so that we can be out here this weekend to do these practice sessions. So huge shout out to him. Huge shout out to Stephanie. Again, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't even be out here. And huge shout out to my wife, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here either. I wouldn't be anywhere but Pooler, Georgia. All right. And last but certainly not least, huge shout out to everybody here that participated in today's practice session. Again, I always want people to step outside their comfort zone. And some people just coming here is stepping outside their comfort zone. But they did great. I encourage them to keep going. And I encourage you guys to keep going, right? Practice, 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 guys. This is such a perishable skill. All right, guys? And remember, it's not about being the best, guys, but it is about being the boss. I'm talking about of your motorcycle. Spend more time being thankful for the things that you have and less time complaining about the things that you don't. Seat time does not equal practice time. And if you have time to ride your motorcycles, you have time to practice on them. That's not my opinion. Until next time.